On January 24th, 2024, I would like to reconvene the City Council Successful Agency to the Westminster Redevelopment Agency meeting. So meeting now called to order. Madam Clerk, roll call please.
Mayor Nguyen.
I'm here.
Vice Mayor Ho.
I'm here.
Councilwoman Fan West.
Yes, I'm here.
Councilmember Monzo.
I'm here.
And Councilmember Nguyen.
Here.
Mayor, you have a quorum with all members present.
Thank you. Salute to the flag by Vice Mayor Ho today and invocation by me, Mayor Chi Charlie Nguyen.
Please stand and hand over your heart. Follow my lead. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Remain standing and bow your head for invocations. Heavenly Father, we ask for your guidance as we meet tonight to conduct business of our city government. Help us keep in mind that we are here to serve the people of Westminster and enable us to make our decisions so that we may do what is best for all of the citizens we represent. Amen.
Amen.
Please be seated. Next is City Attorney closed session report, if there's any.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. There was one item on the closed session agenda. The Council had discussion on that. There's nothing to report regarding that item. There is also one item proposed to be walked onto the agenda as an urgency item. I would just bring that up. It concerns a proclamation concerning the Lunar New Year. And the urgency is that we don't have another council meeting before, and so it would have to go on tonight's agenda. So I would just, if you want to walk that on, it needs a motion, a second, and
Motion to approve.
Approve.
Second.
We have motion and second on the floor. Please call the vote.
I have a motion made by Mayor Nguyen, a second made by, was that Vice Mayor Ho? All right. This is to approve the walk-on item for approval of a proclamation for Lunar New Year. This will be added to the consent calendar as item 3.7. I'll go ahead and call roll. Councilwoman Fan West.
Yes.
Councilmember Monzo.
Yes.
Councilmember Nguyen.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Ho.
Yes.
And Mayor Nguyen.
Yes.
Motion carried 5-0.
Next is export communications. Do I hear anything from the council? Hearing none, seeing none, so let's move on to our city clerk report, please.
Thank you, Mayor. I have nothing to report tonight.
Thank you. Next, city manager report.
Thank you, Mayor and members of the City Council. There's a lot to report tonight. So first off, just a couple of updates. The police department, as part of the Office of Traffic Safety Grant, last night the WPD officers conducted a DUI saturation enforcement patrol throughout the city. These patrols include a 2-officer unit patrolling the city with the primary purpose of looking for impaired drivers. Officers have a zero-tolerance approach to this endeavor. Last year, there were 105 DUI-related crashes on our city streets. 29 involved citizens being injured and 1 fatality. A total of 4 car stops were made, 2 citations were issued, and 1 arrest was made by these 2 officers. And all costs for this were covered by this grant. So the WPD and city would like to remind the community members not to drink and drive. Coming up next, we have the updates about the TEP Parade. The TEP Parade is quickly approaching. It will be held on Saturday, February 10th. Opening ceremony will begin at 8:30 a.m. with pre-opening entertainment starting at 8 a.m., so please get there early. The parade itself begins at 9:30 a.m. There will be beautiful floats, entertaining marching bands, lion dancers, and much more on the lineup. We also have premier seatings this year with prime viewing of the opening ceremony and the parade across the main stage. Tickets are available for purchase at $25 each. The website is available on this the website link is available on the city's website. There are also sponsorship opportunities still available, so please be sure to check out our website for those opportunities, as well as road closure information. Keep in mind, traffic will be impacted that day in the Little Saigon area. If you have any questions, you can visit www.westminsterca.gov or call Community Services at 714-895-2860 for all of the event details and updates. We're really looking forward to it. We have over 80 entries for the parade, so it's definitely going to be a fun and exciting one. Coming up on January 25th, that's tomorrow at 2 p.m., that is a really small flyer that shows our garden tea party. It begins at 2 p.m. in the dining room at the Senior Center. You can decorate your own table, or staff will decorate a table for you. Again, this is a Senior Center party. Tickets are on sale at $8 each, and you can also call Community Services 714-895-2878. And then our next update for the Senior Center, as we say every meeting, they love to party. The Senior Center, we will be ushering in the New Year of the Dragon with a delightful array of traditional flavors, cultural performances, and the warm spirit of togetherness. Tickets are $5 available now. That's going to be for Monday, February 5th, 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the East-West Room, and there will be entertainment by Moonflower. They'll be serving chow mein, egg rolls, and dessert. Senior Center is also still celebrating as we get into Mardi Gras on Tuesday, February 13th at 10 a.m. in the dining room. There will be music, punch, and king cake. Tickets are required, but this event is absolutely free, so it's a great opportunity for any seniors who want to partake in the festivities here to join in on the fun. And then on Valentine's Day, because the party keeps going, February 14th, 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m., there's a Valentine's Day luncheon, entertainment by DJ Professor D. There will be pasta, salad, dessert. It's $5 per person. Obviously, if you don't have a special someone, you can make it a Galentine's. Galentine's, it's all in good fun. Call 714-895-2878. Again, tickets $5, and there's limited seating. And then our Family Resource Center, in partnership with OCFA, will be hosting a free emergency preparedness seminar on Tuesday, January 30th from 6 to 7 p.m. Pre-registration is required by January 25th. This is a great opportunity to learn about what is considered a disaster, why prepare, emergency management systems, and of course the ABCs of disaster preparedness. The FRC is located over at Sigler Park, which is 7200 Plaza Street. And for more information, call 714-903-1331 for more information. And then just a real quick update on new members to our Westminster team. We'd like to welcome Daisy Guzman, who's our new records coordinator in our city clerk's office. She joins us from the City of Santa Ana's Police Department and their Records Bureau, and we're excited to have Daisy join our team. And with that, that concludes my report.
Thank you, City Manager, for the brief, detailed report.
Not brief.
We have a number of special presentations tonight. But before that, I would like to welcome each and every one of you to the City Council meeting tonight. It's good to see that you dedicate your time, effort, and concern to be here with us throughout the meeting. So we appreciate that. So thank you for being here. For special presentation, first we have recognition of the Westminster Police Department Explorer Program for recent achievements. So we have a number of special presentations, as I mentioned earlier. I will read all of them, and then we'll join with City Council at the podium to present you with the certificate of recognition. So first is recognition of Westminster Police Department Explorer Program for recent achievements. In November of 2023, our explorers competed in the Orange County Explorer Advisor Association competition against 27 other teams. Listen to this. Our team received awards in 7 different events. In January 2024, they competed in the second Explorer competition in Chandler, Arizona, against 50 other teams. The Westminster Police Explorer shined again and were the top performance team in 4 different events. Explorer Advisor Officer Vo even brought home an award for the 3rd best time on the physical fitness obstacle course as he competed against 50 other police officers. We are extremely proud of the performance of our Westminster Police Department Explorers and their advisors who helped train them to prepare for these competitions. Congratulations. The next one is a recognition of Susan Anthony Elementary School for recent Blue Ribbon Award designation. Susan B. Anthony Elementary School was designated as an exemplary high-performing national Blue Ribbon for 2023 by the U.S. Secretary of Education, Miguel Cardona. The National Blue Ribbon Award is the highest national honor a school can achieve. Our school is one of 35 Blue Ribbon Awards recipients in California and one of 355 Blue Ribbon Award recipients in the nation. We are proud of the outstanding academic achievement and educational experience for our students. This is a great honor to our school and community. The next one is recognition of Shri Vishnu Spiritual Ashram. As a nonprofit organization, their mission is to provide peaceful and holy ashram offering yoga, meditation, prayer, rituals, healing, spiritual counseling, solving problems, and connecting with the divine. They provide free consultant and healing services to abused women and veterans, and free meals to unhoused individuals. We want to thank them for their service to the community. Next one is the recognition of Zi Ying Tong for their 10th-year anniversary. Zi Ying Tong is a group of performers and martial artists dedicated to preserving the arts of Vietnamese/Chinese lion dancing and Kung Fu. We would like to congratulate them on their 10th-year anniversary and thank them for sharing our cultural heritage with the community. So at this point here, I would like to invite the City Council to join me at the podium to recognize all the organizations that I just mentioned. Thank you. Explore. All right, please join us here. Thank you.
Dạ vâng, hello mọi người. Mình đến cũng trễ nhưng mà cũng chưa trễ lắm. Bây giờ là thành phố đang trao bằng tưởng lục cho những cái hội đoàn, những cái hội nhóm. Và mình sẽ mang máy quay.
tonight. And we, the council, very proud to present you with a certificate of recognition and for your recent achievements and dedication in serving the community. And this is date on the 4th day of January 2024 by the Mayor, Chief Charlie Kimberly Hall, Vice Mayor, District 3, Amy Van West, Council Member, District 1, Carlos Inezzo, Council Member, District 2, and Nan Quan Nguyen, Council Member, District 4. Congratulations. Thank you very much for being here, and thank you for your great work for the community. Comments? Any comments?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the community support and also the council members. We couldn't do this without your support, the city support, the PD support, so we thank you. Appreciate everything. Just hope that we can do some more events and make you guys proud.
Thank you. I just wanted to say thank you for the recognition, Mayor, of our Explore Post. It's very close and dear to our heart. These young individuals giving up their time on their dime to come in and compete in these competitions, and for the Explore advisors giving up their time as well to make sure that these young men and women are successful. So thank you very much.
This time you stand up so that we can have a picture together. I don't mind.
You guys are part of this. So the council step forward and then the explorers can step back.
So, with that, we would like to present you with a certificate of recognition. So, who wants to do this? Because you receive it from me, then you have a few words to say.
Hello, I'm Corporal Garcia with the Westminster Police Explorer Program. On behalf of Post 810, our Explorer Program, we would like to say thank you so much. We very much appreciate all the love and support that you guys give to our program.
Just want to say a few words is that to the young men and women, the explorers, and to the mentors, thank you, all of you, for being part of Westminster. You are the future leaders. And to the mentors, please continue to mentor more individuals like these young men and women. I feel really good that over the years as I've watched the Explorer program and how great it's been, and I'm very, very proud of all of you. You are our future leaders, just remember that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Last and brief. I just want to say thank you so much that you guys are involved in this program because it's fantastic, and you guys are a future leader in protecting our cities, and I hope you guys will stay for the training because we do take good care of you guys, and our law enforcement do know that and can attest to that. And thank you for those who train the Explorer. Keep up the good work. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you very much once again, and congratulations, and hope that we can come up here soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor and City Council, just one last thing for everyone watching at home. Our Explorer program rely heavily on fundraisers and sponsorships to help with their competitions. And I just wanted to announce that our Explorers have a challenge coin fundraiser right now in which they are, for a donation of $25, there's a special design challenge coin that you can purchase that features it features, our Lunar New Year coming up,
And so if you're interested in purchasing one, please email our Perez.
I'm going to try to post it on social media too. So,
Yes. So just for anyone who's interested, Roland Perez over here, Officer Perez, he will be handling those orders. So if you're interested, shoot him an email.
Count me in.
They look great.
Next, we have the certificate of recognition to present it to Susan B. Anthony Elementary School. Do we have a representative here? Oh, we have Dan Woodward, who is a vice president for the University District for Guatemala. So, on behalf of the City Council, we would like to present this certificate of recognition to you on behalf of Susan Anthony Elementary School for your outstanding achievement in receiving the 2020 National Ribbon Award for exemplary high-performing school, and signed by me, the Mayor, Chicha Nguyen, and the whole Vice Mayor District 3, Amy Fan West, Council Member District 1, Carlos Manzo, Council Member District 2, and Hannah Fan Nguyen, Council Member District 4. Congratulations.
On behalf of Board of Education of the Gandro Unified School District, I thank you, the Mayor and Council Member and the City for recognizing our student from Susan Anthony Elementary. We were very proud of their achievement. This is the best of the best student among national recognized school. As you know, we have only 6 schools being recognized this year, but 3 of them are in Gandro Unified School District. We are proud of them. And I don't often get to go to City Council here, but here on this special occasion, I want to speak on behalf of the board to thank the council and Westminster PD for sending an officer at the data to our special resource officer here to join our force in the Gandro School District to serve our students here. And we look forward to more partnership, more collaboration between the district and the city so that we can strengthen our bond to serve our residents, parents, and students. We all in one in this community. And again, thank you very much for this recognition today. And I want to thank you for the partnership that we have fostered between the Gandro Unified School District and the City of Westminster.
Thank you very much. And he is the Vice President for Board of Education for the GGUSD for the Gandro School District. So thank you again, congratulations. And he has over 20 years with the district. So congratulations to you again. Thank you very much. Next is Sherry Venish, spiritual astronaut. Please come up to the podium. Love to have you here. So, on behalf of the Vice Mayor and also City Council, I would like to present to you with a certificate of recognition for your continued efforts and dedication in serving and providing services to the Indian American community in the city of Westminster. Signed by me, the Chief of the Mayor, and the whole Vice Mayor District 3, Amy Fan West, Council Member District 1, Carlos Mango, Council Member District 2, and Anna Parmele, Council Member District 4. Thank you for being here and congratulations.
Thank you very much, Mayor Leon, and all the council members. I feel honored to be here and receive this recognition. Thank you so much, and thank you for your support. And most importantly, I love city of Westminster. This is a wonderful city in California.
Thank you again. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Next, I believe there's thank you. Next is Ji Ying Tom. We have the representative here. Please come up to the podium. We'd love to have you join us here. Thank you again for being here with us, and my apology that I couldn't attend your event last night, just because I was out of town, so I can't do anything about it. But together with the Vice Mayor and also City Council, I would like to present you with this recognition in celebration of your 10-year anniversary and in recognition of your dedication and effort in enhancing the cultural vibrancy in the community.
Thank you.
Again, it's signed by me, and then Vice Mayor and the whole City Council. So I'd like to present this to you. Yep. Oh, wow, look at that. Hey. Which that's okay? I went first. Thank you. Look at this, the banner. Beautiful banner. Thank you very much. We are going to give it to the staff to hand it to the city somewhere. Thank you very much. Your choice to speak.
Just want to say thank you, Mayor, council members, for supporting us.
We're going to continue to need your support in order to preserve our culture. I know you guys talked about a couple of events. Maybe you guys need some line dancers for that. You guys can hit us up. Thank you guys.
We need you for the next TikTok parade. You need to be there. Okay? All right. Thank you very much. Thanks for being here. All right. One more.
Jimmy.
Thank you very much. Isn't it great that we have different organizations that join us at the city so that we can recognize them for the work, for the effort that they do for the community? It's great. I love to do this all night long. Okay, thank you so much. Next, in this special presentation, I would like to recognize the Westminster Community Foundation for their updates. I know that they have a successful event, a gala event, as some of you already know, and they are here today to give us some good news and update you of what's going on. So I would like to invite all members of the Westminster Community Foundation to come up and thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Charlie, Vice Mayor, all, and Councilman. My name is Dominic Blair, President of Westminster Community Foundation, and we are here today to present a $40,000 check back to the city of Westminster.
All right.
We had a very successful gala, and we raised $40,000.
Wow.
And we hope that with this fund, we can have partially of the cost for the parade. And I would like to also thank Mayor Charlie for guiding us through the gala event. Give us a lot of experience that we learned from, and that helped our gala to be a very successful one, even though that this is only the first time we ever do it. So we learned a lot from it, and hopefully, throughout this year to come, we would be able to be on our own and do a lot more successful gala and raise a lot of fund for the city.
All right, let's put our hands together, please. Thank you.
Thanks all the council member, vice mayor, to support us throughout the whole thing, and be there for us. I think that, with all your support, that really helped us to have a successful gala. And also, I would like to say a special thanks to the city attorney for his help throughout this month, even though we are only created only a few months, but with his expertise and professional help, we get through. And also, I would like to thank John Mayer Law Office to donate $5,000 to our foundation for our operational.
Vanessa, please come up. Money.
Mr. Mayor and City Council members, on behalf of the Westminster Community Foundation, we would like to thank you very much for all the support, especially the investment capital that you granted at the beginning as a startup for our non-profit organization, and also to the city attorney for creating a very fast tax exempt for our WCF. Thank you all, and we would like to return our capital to you and also add some of fundraising to you. Thank you, and have a happy
Yes, all right. So with that, I would like to invite our Director of Community and Recreation to come up and receive the funding. Who is also responsible for the Tit Parade? She and her team are responsible for the Tit Parade to get put together. So please, money, don't let me forget. And on behalf of the City Council and City staff, I would like to thank you, WCF, to the wise investment from the City Council. We can see the result after a couple months of their hard working, and we can see that start out with the parade for this year. I'm looking forward to more and more of next year. So don't forget to thank our police and other organization, and also some of us from the community who were there also on that day. So, with that, I would like to take this chance to thank you all for supporting
WCF. Thank you very much.
Mayor, stay tuned.
Yes, please.
It was mentioned, just so the public knows, that when we formed the foundation, we went through that process and we were able to get the 501c3 application into the IRS, which they were telling me was going to take 8 to 9 months. And I just want to let the public know that we were able to get an expedited application due to the Tet Parade deadline. We appealed in that way and it was granted, so it's formally a 501c3, so everyone knows that. So.
All right, thank you very much. It's a nonprofit organization, so if you need tax deduction from your donation, please contact WCF for the receipt. At this point here, I would like to open up for oral communication on agenda item only. So please, Madam Clerk, why don't you read the instruction
for the record, please.
Thank you, Mayor. This is the time of the meeting that members of the public may address the City Council regarding any items on the agenda. Unless otherwise extended by a majority vote of the City Council, comments shall be limited to 3 minutes per speaker. Any person wishing to address the City Council in person should complete a green speaker slip that is provided at the entrance to the Council chambers and submit the card to the City Clerk. When your name is called, please step to the podium at that time and state your name and city of residence for the record. Our first speaker is Dao Tran.
The next person.
Our next speaker is Casey Wolbert.
Good evening, Council. As the newly elected Chairman of the Planning Commission, I'm here to speak tonight on Agenda 5.2.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So the Agenda 5.2, as you know, is the additional $89,500 towards the economic plan to look at what's happening down the Westminster corridor of Westminster Boulevard as the remaining of the LEAP money from the housing element that was done for 2021 to 2029. Just as a word of caution on the Planning Commission, it may not have been brought to your attention, but it is very important that you understand that the wise people in the state legislature in California have decided that local control is not important. It's not important to planning commissions, and it's not important to you, the City Council. There has been a number of bills passed by the legislature and voted into law and signed by Gavin Newsom to remove planning commission ability to make almost every decision when it comes to residential property, mixed-use property, etc. We've gone through extensive training from the city attorney and the assistant city attorney. We've had presentations here during our planning meetings. Just a word of caution, be very, very wise where you spend your money. This is one of the biggest bait and switch deals coming down from California that you can imagine. They want you to make a housing element. You make the housing element. Then they go, oh, to reward you for doing a great job, we're going to give you some free money that you can go investigate how you can build your city. And then they're not going to let you build it the way you want it. They're trying to remove the control from local control and centralize it. They think that most of the planning commissions in the state, in my opinion, based upon the laws, planning commissions don't know what they're doing. City staff barely knows what they're doing, let alone the City Council's ability to actually vote on how the plan gets developed. Take a look at the plans, the specific plans, the objective standards. I highly recommend using the money as much as possible to look at how you can address to maintain local control. Okay, you may think that the development's going to have 100 units. The developer comes in with a waiver, 4 waivers, 12 waivers. They don't have to look at parking. They don't have to look at sewer, trash, water. They don't have to take in any considerations to make this place a wonderful place. And they can just build whatever they want without your approval. Be very cautious as to what is recommended by a California-approved vendor of what they're going to serve back to you that meets the direction of California's housing element. Be very cautious. Be very careful. That's my word. As far as 5.2, we definitely need redevelopment in the city. As you all know, you voted for, we need better places for people to live. We need better mixed use. We need better commercial, more investment and development. But be careful where we spend the money, because it may come back to haunt us if we have no control of how it's built. Thank you.
All right, Dao Tran.
Good evening, Mayor and Council members. It is so ridiculous that the City Council has 3 consecutive meetings, December 13, January 10, and January 24, with same council member, West, and same issue, the flag. Ask yourself if you were too favorable to Ms. West, and also ask yourself if this City Council has nothing else to discuss to bring this city up and for the goodness of the residents. I oppose to hang our Vietnamese yellow flag at the City Hall for 10 days. We should do that just one day, and it is the first day of the Lunar New Year, because just in Vietnam, we celebrate the Tết only for 3 days. About the U.S. flag that Carlos, did you think carefully before you seconded to fly the U.S. flag for weeks or months on the streets? I don't think it is a good idea. Last thing I want to tell Vice Mayor Ho and Councilwoman West, do not stop abusing our Vietnamese yellow flag for your political ambition. That is too bad. People vote for you not just because how many days our flags are flown, but on what you have done for the safety and prosperity of this city. That is the message I want to send to you. Do not ever abuse our Vietnam yellow flag. Thank you for listening and good night.
Our next speaker is Michael Varengia.
Thank you. First of all, Chief, congratulations on your explorers back there. Excellent. That's your farm team. That's where they're starting out. Okay, here we are again. Item 5.5, the flag of the former South Vietnam. Can we please put this thing to bed and move on and start discussing what we're going to do about making the city of Westminster better? We have more businesses we found out recently that are closing down. This can't be sustained, folks. You guys are already in financial straits. You have to do something about getting more businesses. You can't just overbuild the city like the last city council in Huntington Beach did, which is why they got thrown out of office the last election. They overbuilt a lot of their areas down there. It's starting to be congested. I don't want to see that happen to our city. I don't want to see housing built where the post office is, where Rite Aid is, where the Big Lots was down there. That can't be sustained. It's traffic, it's water, it's electricity. Unless you guys can come up with a better idea how we get all of that stuff in here and make it worthwhile and affordable. Also, Chief, I wholeheartedly support 5.1, you and the city manager getting a raise. You guys earn it every single day of the week. You got my vote. And on the special recognitions, congratulations, I've already said, to the Explorers and also Susan B. Anthony School. And thank you to the Community Foundation for their work. But I'm stumped recognizing an organization that, one, isn't in the city of Westminster. It's not even in Orange County. I thought we were going to do that, and when I say we, I mean the council and us as residents, that we would recognize organizations within our city and people within our city that contribute to the betterment of the entire city. Not just certain areas of it, not just development, not just schooling, but the entire city. We have plenty of residents and organizations within our city that rate recognition. And you probably want to focus on that so people don't look at you and go, you're just doing it for your buddies. If you do it only within our residents, everybody's going to get a better idea of this city council, and it's going to show that you are actually interested in making this city better and not just playing lip service. Thank you, folks.
Our next speaker is Long Tran.
Xin kính chào tất cả quý vị trong Hội đồng thành phố. Trong cuộc họp Hội đồng thành phố gần đây, tôi nhận thấy có một số quan niệm sai lầm về lá cờ. Là một công dân có trách nhiệm, tôi tin rằng nó rất quan trọng trong việc làm rõ ý nghĩa chính xác và sự cao trọng của một lá cờ. Không chỉ đối với các thành viên hội đồng, mà đối với tất cả những người liên quan. Sự hiểu biết này sẽ đặc biệt có giá trị khi đưa ra quyết định về các kiến nghị hoặc nghị quyết. Để minh họa quan điểm này, hãy lấy thí dụ về lá cờ Hoa Kỳ. Hoa Kỳ tuyên bố độc lập vào ngày 4 tháng 7 năm 1776 và lá cờ chính thức được sáng tạo và sử dụng ngày 14 tháng 6 năm 1777. Điều quan trọng cần lưu ý trong suốt thời gian đó, Hoa Kỳ vẫn nằm dưới sự đô hộ của nước Anh. Cuộc cách mạng bắt đầu vào năm 1775, tiếp tục cho đến năm 1783, khi Hiệp ước Paris được ký kết và chính thức công nhận Hoa Kỳ là một quốc gia độc lập. Những sự kiện này nhấn mạnh rằng lá cờ Hoa Kỳ được tạo ra và sử dụng 6 năm trước khi Hoa Kỳ giành được độc lập từ nước Anh. Vì vậy, lá cờ của một quốc gia có giá trị ngay từ khi nó được tạo ra và duy trì giá trị của nó trong suốt thời gian quá trình nó tồn tại, bất chấp những tác động từ bên ngoài. Áp dụng nguyên tắc này, chúng ta có thể hiểu được rằng lá cờ vàng ba sọc đỏ của Việt Nam có giá trị từ năm 1950 hoặc thậm chí sớm hơn, mặc dù lúc đó đất nước chưa giành được độc lập. Kết luận, nó rất quan trọng để nhận ra sự thật này. Đó là lá cờ vẫn luôn có giá trị bao lâu mọi người trong tổ chức còn mong muốn giữ lại nó. Cho nên người Việt Nam không bị bắt buộc phải chấp nhận lá cờ Cộng sản Việt Nam nếu họ không muốn. Giá trị của một lá cờ chỉ được xác định bởi ước muốn của một tổ chức hoặc những người mà nó đại diện. Hôm nay tôi muốn làm rõ điều này là để bảo đảm sự hiểu biết sâu sắc trong tất cả các thành viên hội đồng và tất cả những người liên quan. Cảm ơn và chúc mọi người một đêm vui vẻ.
During the recent council meeting, I noticed several misunderstandings and misconceptions regarding the flag. As a responsible citizen, I believe it is very important to clarify the accurate meaning and the significance of the flag, not only for the council members, but also for all those involved. This understanding will be particularly valuable when making decisions on motions and resolutions. To illustrate this point, let's take the example of the United States flag. The United States declared its independence on July 4th, 1776, and the official flag was created and used since June 14th, 1777. It is important to note that during that time, the United States was still under the control of England. The Revolutionary War, which began in 1775, continued until 1783 when the Treaty of Paris was signed. formally recognizing the United States as an independent nation. These facts emphasize the U.S. flag was created and used 6 years before the country gained independence from England. Therefore, the flag of a nation is valid from the time it was created and remains valid throughout its existence, regardless of external influences. Applying this principle, we can understand that the Vietnamese yellow flag was valid from 1950 or even earlier, even though the country had not yet gained independence at that time. In conclusion, it is very important to recognize this truth. That is, a flag remains valid as long as the people of an organization wish to retain it. Consequently, the Vietnamese people are not obligated to accept the Vietnamese Communist flag if they do not wish to. The validity of a flag is determined solely by the wishes of the organization or people it represents. Today, I wanted to bring this clarification to ensure a deep understanding among all council members and all those involved. Thank you and have a good evening, everyone.
Thank you. I just want to make sure our community knows that no one here on the dais against the Republic of Vietnam, the go with the twist red stripe, the orange flag. I want to confirm that to you. If there is any, then why don't you speak up? I don't think so. We have made it strong that so everyone can understand that. So there is no question about that. Let's move on and we can go on and discuss different issues. Thank you very much. Next.
Our next speaker is Terry Raines.
Congratulations, WCF Explorer Susan B. Anthony School, the group that was added at the last minute, and Sri Vishnu Spiritual Ashram for being recognized tonight. I won. But what contributions did the latter make to Westminster, and who proposed that certificate? This is a religious spiritual organization just formed in 2022 based in a house in Riverside. I couldn't find any reference to their work in Westminster. The city should not award certificates to religious organizations, especially those not based in our city. I support item 5.1. Our chief and city manager are critical to the city's survival. Both have demonstrated their outstanding abilities and commitment to our city. If we lose either, we lose hope for this city, especially with this council. This is a 10% salary increase. Per the CM's contract, her salary must be 5% higher than the next highest paid employee, which is the chief. But honestly, Christine deserves this increase on her own merit, not just because of the contract stipulation. I support item 5.2 sooner rather than later. Businesses are leaving our city at an alarming rate, and our city is going broke. I sent an email pointing out embarrassing errors in the agreement. So again, you're welcome. Item 5.3, Mayor Nguyen, you must recuse yourself from discussing or voting on this item to consider sponsoring Midway City Sanitary District's upcoming open house, which would entail expending city taxpayer dollars to benefit the district, of course, of which you are a board member. The same goes for district votes that benefit the city, i.e. the Tet Parade sponsorship. Both highlight that the two seats are indeed incompatible per Section 1099C. The district just adopted Resolution 2023-20 on December 5th, establishing a sponsorship policy for events to offset costs. Council, a $2,500 gold sponsorship is plenty. No need for the $5,000 one. Item 5.4, more flag stuff that has absolutely nothing to do with fixing the city's serious issues. Again, check your jurisdiction. The north side of Westminster from Bouchard to Newland is Garden Grove, not Westminster. Item 5.5, at the last meeting, the city attorney stated the second whereas of Resolution 5237 would be removed, but it was only edited. Why? He also stated a single date would be selected to reaffirm the flag, but instead this proposal is an arbitrary date, 3 days before TED, or as Amy says, not a single date of significance, and it's to fly the flag for 10 days, not just one. This resolution refers to the Republic of Vietnam flag throughout. The word former should be inserted because there hasn't been a Republic of Vietnam for almost 50 years. Items 2 and 8. Since you ignore your code of conduct, Please read the handout that I provided to you tonight. Mayor Nguyen and council members Nguyen and West, you must stop responding to public comments, especially with off-topic personal attacks in violation of the Brown Act and First Amendment. I've never seen a mayor initiate and encourage a practice of direct violation of law, nor have I seen a city attorney sit back and not intervene to stop the violation of law. Often your responses have nothing to do with the comments actually made. Case law supports my position, and if you continue this crap, Westminster will become its own court case. You can bank on that.
Our final speaker is Khai Đao.
Good evening, everyone. Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, Chief, and City Manager and City Attorney. Well, the last time I was here, I was stopped because someone, I don't know if he's stupid, ignorant, or just pretend to be. So I just want to make sure he knows that I'm talking about item 5.4 and 5.5, right? So just repeat what Terry just said. If Mr. City Attorney don't exercise your capacity and educate the mayor to stop interfering, to stop interrupting people while they're speaking, it's not at his discretion to decide if I'm talking on topic or not.
Are you talking about what item, please?
Hey, are you interrupting me again?
Yes, because if you don't talk about the item, then what item that you're talking about?
And you're just too stupid to know that.
Please, what item are you addressing right now?
5.4, 5.5.
Okay, talk about that item, please.
Are you
don't talk about
directing
all
me
the
how
things.
I am supposed to speak? Mr. City Attorney, the City Manager, I would repeat what Terry just said. Don't be surprised if the city is going to have a lawsuit coming from him. Because this is
Please, you are not talking about the items.
Man, come on.
Come on.
Don't be stupid. Don't, you acting like a monkey.
You are, that's okay. But this is the agenda item. And if you're talking about 5.3 private court, please don't speak about that. And you cannot talk anything outside of that. I am interrupting you because you are not talking about the agenda item. So talk about the agenda item.
Mr. City Attorney, is he interrupting me? Is he interfering with my rights? How do you think I'm out of bounds here? Don't get me in my mouth. You've been stupid. You're stupid. And the city is the
Please. One more time. If you are talking about the agenda item, I will let you. But if not, the first warning for you. If you are not talking about agenda item, please wait until because this is an agenda item.
I talk about the agenda. Everybody
get out.
Last man was talking about this item.
Get out, please.
So none of us can talk.
You talk only right.
All of my mayor.
Well,
I'm
go
talking ready.
Then go ahead and talk about 5.4.
Hey,
go ahead
the speaker before me told you the same thing. You guys are...
Now, please keep it to items on the agenda. Thank you.
Yes, sir. That's what I'm trying to do, but I need to lead it. You know, he just decided I'm off topic, that's all. Thank you. So just like someone before me said, and you did not interrupt her, you guys are taking advantage of this issue, of the yellow flag, to campaign, to get votes. And that's not right. That's not city's business. Like Michael Varengia said, your job is to serve the city. City business is for the betterment of the city. It's not to get vote. Okay? I would support the resolution from Councilman Amy Phan West, but I prefer it coming from the community. Some organization, just like the monument, would propose it to you guys. And your job is to approve it, to vote for it, yes or no. It's not your job to go around looking for issues that might get you guys votes and forget about the cities. Is our city on the verge of bankruptcy? Are you guys waiting to raise tax? I haven't seen you guys talk about that for 3-4 weeks, for 3-4 meetings on the road. We talk about changing name of the street. That's all BS, you know that. You guys not changing any street's name. You only put little letters under a sign to fool the Vietnamese voters that you guys are pleasing them. Same thing here with the flag. I have nothing against it. And again, Mr. City Attorney, the last time I asked you, is it the law require that once you guys voted, no action for some item, it should take another 6 months, right, for that person to be able to have the right to submit it again. And these people are voting on the same thing 2 weeks later. You guys are going around the law, right? Changing from proclamation to resolution, so that allow you to violate the rule, regulation. And with Nam Quang, I wonder what changed his mind. Why did you two decided to shuffle, to take no action against the same proclamation a month ago, and 2 weeks later he decided to second it again? I haven't heard him explain himself, admit that he was wrong, or apologize. Thank you.
Just to remind everyone again, this is the agendized item only. If you speak out of the agenda item, I will stop, because I'm being fair to everyone here, because I can't let that go on and then another person go on, then we have a policy that we have to follow. So just want to remind you of that. Please.
Mayor, we do have one more speaker card, but I need to get clarification from Hao Trung Nguyen that this is an agenda item or a non-agenda item. The item that you'd like to speak on, is it on the agenda or a separate item? Okay, we'll call you at the end of the meeting, okay? Okay. So Mayor, he would like to speak on a non-agenda item, so we'll go ahead and add him to the end of the meeting.
All right, thank you very much. So I will close the oral communication for agenda item now. And the next item is consent calendars. All matters listed under consent calendar. Well, we did vote to have the 3.7, right? Okay, so all matters listed under the consent calendar are considered routine and may be approved by a single motion, followed by a roll call vote. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless members of the City Council or staff request that specific item be removed from the consent calendar for separate action or discussion. I would like to pull 3.7.
I'd like to pull 3.4.
3.4. Anything else?
Now, may I also pull the other section too, or only
whichever item that you want to pull.
Can I pull like 5.5?
No. Just the consent calendar.
That's
right now.
Great.
Okay. Motion to approve remainder, Mayor.
I second it.
Okay, we have a motion and second on the floor to approve the rest except for the 3.4 and 3.7.
Thank you. I have a motion made by Councilmember Monzo, a second made by Councilwoman Phan West. That's to approve the consent calendar with the removal of agenda items 3.4 and 3.7 for separate discussion. I'll go ahead and call roll. Councilwoman Fan West,
Yes.
Councilmember Monzo,
Yes.
Councilmember Nguyen,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Ho,
Yes.
and Mayor Nguyen.
Yes.
Motion carried 5-0.
So 3.4 approved by Vice Mayor Ho for 2023 year-end homeless activity report. You are recognized.
I'd like a staff report, please, from the chief.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. City Clerk, I do believe there's an associated picture with this, if that's available. If not, okay. This is the year-end review of our homeless liaison activities throughout the city. I know it was included in the package, and we're going to try to pull up a picture as well. I did want to go over just some of the highlights. We do have, as you're aware, a ad hoc committee that addresses this quarterly and goes over these numbers. We have council representation on that committee. So yearly, and this is for year-end 2023, our officers and HLO team responded to over 12,000 calls for service throughout the city involving homeless or those identifying to be homeless. In addition to those calls for service, that would be a member of the community picking up the phone, reporting something that we go out and then the individual reports as homeless. In addition to those, our officers and our homeless liaison officers, which I'm referring to as HLOs, contacted a little over 2,000 additional members identifying as homeless. Specific arrests of homeless, we arrested about 174 people that identify as homeless for various violations. We also reunified 97 persons with their family that were homeless or found them beds or otherwise housed them. So those are success stories. Out of those numbers, 2 were families. I know a lot of people will speculate and say, oh my goodness, there's so many homeless families on the street. Well, I could tell you with pretty good accuracy here, at least in the city of Westminster, there was only 2 out of all those numbers that were an actual family that was homeless that we dealt with. 154 homeless encampments, and I believe everyone knows what a homeless encampment is. In fact, I think just about every one of you has had telephone calls or text messages with me when you come across one and want us to address it. We actually cleaned up 154 of those. I would also like to give credit to our CPU unit that does that and helps our HLO team with those cleanups, but that's a lot of cleanups to do during the year. The age groups range from 18 to over 66, but the #1 age group of homeless contacted were in the age range of 41 to 64. And as you can see by the map, we put down our hot spots. In addition to this, I will like to bring up Be Well. Be Well doesn't primarily deal with homeless. They deal with anyone having a mental crisis. So it's just not homeless. But the majority of their outreach and dispatch time actually is with homeless. We launched Be Well in June of last year, so we don't have a full year's data, but we do have it since June to December, and they handled a total of 2,644 calls for service. In outreach, that means them being proactive about things when they're not going on calls for service. They did 1,950 outreach events.
Could I interrupt you really quickly?
Yes.
The pie chart, it says the orange is 41 to 54, or is it 41 to 64?
Yeah, that's a 64.
Okay.
Yes. And with that, I'm open to questions.
Chief, I have a question. Since you guys are on the ground, you guys see a lot of and deal with homelessness. Do you see, since you address 2 homeless with family, the rest, do you see that they're more shipped into our city, or where they're coming from? Can you please address that?
So unfortunately, Councilwoman, not really. That's not part of our questioning. Where did you come from? I'm not too sure we'd get honest answers on that as well. I know right now we're in the midst of a point in time count countywide throughout Orange County. From that, we will see how many identify as Westminster homeless residents.
Okay, are there a lot of Westminster homeless resident, or when you ask them, do they say, oh, I live in North Carolina, or do I live in Arizona, or do they let you know that? I mean.
So in this point of time count, that'll be much more accurate than my estimate. I will tell you, my estimate will be pretty vague, and that is that most will identify, if they're being contacted on the city streets of Westminster, they will identify as Westminster homeless, meaning this is their home. They live on the streets somewhere in our jurisdiction. But we should have numbers from them in the next month or two, and the council will receive a presentation on those results as well.
All right, that's great. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yes, I have a question, Mayor. I thought Vice Mayor had some. But of those 12,000 calls, I hope that wasn't all me on those ones.
Council member, the majority were, yes.
Sorry about that. Yeah, my questions was more about the Be Well, of how many of the calls you just mentioned of the homeless calls, that they're the ones that they go in those calls, the homeless calls. How many did you say there was?
So if they're dispatched ones, calling for their service, yes. We called in this morning. I called in to send them out on somebody I saw in actually the Civic Center. That would be a call for service. That's 2,644.
Okay. Yeah, and do they patrol, or do they just go out to calls made?
No, so we have them for 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. If they are not tied up on a call for service like I just described, they are patrolling. They have a list of our parks. We have over 20 of them in our jurisdiction. They hit the parks on a regular basis. And also you can see, or they took it down, but you could see on the location where homeless were contacted, that spreadsheet in the city that's up there now, they have access to all this data too. So they will hit those locations. They are familiar where the camps are, and they will hit those locations also. A lot of times behind the scenes, behind businesses, generally where you see these little camps, and a lot of times they're not in the general public area where you can see them. The homeless like to have some type of privacy, but our Be Well team knows that, and they go back there and they service them.
All right. Thank you.
You bet.
Is there a motion to approve this item?
Yes, I motion to approve.
Before I do, I just want to ask you, family reunification, what method do you use to contact the family?
So generally that happens when either our HLO team or Be Well, or sometimes a combination, and our HLO team does comprise of 2 civilian caseworkers that do a great job with that. They will reach out and try to locate existing family for the homeless person that's now asking for help with that. And when they're able to reunite them, and that homeless person goes home with whomever that is, one of their siblings, a child, a parent, an aunt, an uncle, and they take them into their care, that would be a reunification or an example of that.
It's a huge amount of people are unified. That's great. Thank you very much. Yes. I move to approve.
I second it.
This item is for receive and file. Just want to mention that. We have motion and second on the floor. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Mayor. And just one follow-up from me with Council Member Monzo is at the 1-year point, so that would be this June, we do plan on having Be Well come in with their annual stats of servicing our city. So the council, I will make sure, gets an update on those numbers, as well as our committee. Thank you.
Thank you again.
I have a motion made by Vice Mayor Ho, a second made by Councilwoman Fan West. This is to receive and file. I'll go ahead and call roll. Councilwoman Fan West?
Yes.
Councilmember Monzo?
Yes.
Councilmember Nguyen?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Ho?
Yes.
And Mayor Nguyen?
Yes.
Motion carried 5-0.
3.7, this is a walk-on items and approved by the City Council, and this is New Year Tết Nguyên Đán proclamation, and I pulled this item. I pulled this item simply because we want to make sure that we approve this item, and we are going to present it today to the community. And let me go ahead and read the proclamation of the Lunar New Year, Tết Nguyên Đán, February 10, 2024. Whereas Lunar New Year also referred to as a Spring Festival, Chinese New Year, Vietnamese New Year, a Lantern Festival is traditionally celebrated throughout Asia by more than 2 billion people worldwide and marks the new lunar calendar year. And whereas Lunar New Year in Vietnam, known as Tết Nguyên Đán, or Tết for short, means Thanksgiving, and is one of the most important holiday celebrations in the Vietnamese culture, representing hope and love, and is a time to reunite with family and friends. And whereas this year, Lunar New Year begins February 10, 2024. And whereas the Lunar New Year Spring Festival also marks the transition from one animal to the next under zodiac, with February 10, 2024, signaling the start of the year of the dragon, according to the Vietnamese zodiac. And whereas Little Saigon has a diverse community that includes the largest population of Vietnamese people outside of Vietnam, and they celebrate the Lunar New Year as Tết. And whereas the city of Westminster and Little Saigon community generally celebrate with festivities, including gatherings, festival, and world-renowned annual Tết parade. And whereas the city of Westminster wishes good fortune, health, and happiness to all during the Lunar New Year celebration and throughout the next year. Now, therefore, I, Chief Charlie Nguyen, Mayor of the City of Westminster, on behalf of Vice Mayor Kimberly Ho and Council Member Amy Phan West, Carlos Menzo, and Nam Quan Nguyen, do hereby proclaim February 10, 2024 as the beginning of the Lunar New Year, Tết Nguyên Đán, in the City of Westminster in celebration of the Year of the Dragon, and encourage all residents to join in the celebration for the prosperous and healthy New Year. Signed on this date, 24th day of the January 24, by the City Council. Chief Charlie Nguyen, Mayor, Kimberly Ho, Vice Mayor, District 3, Amy Phan West, Council Member, District 1, Carlos Menzo, Council Member, District 2, Nam Quan Nguyen, Council Member, District 4. So, would like to proclaim on February 10, 2024 as a Lunar New Year, Tết Nguyên Đán. Okay, next item is...
Mayor, we need
yes.
to get a motion in a second.
Okay, move to approve.
Second.
I have a second made by Councilmember Monzo. So I have a motion made by Mayor Nguyen, a second made by Councilmember Monzo, and this is to approve the proclamation for Lunar New Year. I'll go to call roll. Councilwoman Phan West?
Yes.
Councilmember Monzo?
Yes.
Councilmember Nguyen?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Ho?
Yes.
And Mayor Nguyen.
Yes.
Motion carried 5-0.
Next is regular business, and 5.1, adoption of resolution approving amendment to salary schedule for executive employees. At this point here,
Mr. Mayor, do you mind if I can change the order? Have you guys talked to see if we can change the order? I want a motion to change the order.
I already called for 5.1, so let's wait until this item finished. Then we can, if you want to propose, then but I already called, and the staff is ready to answer the 5.1. Go ahead, please.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. We are here today to discuss approving an amendment to the salary schedule for the executive employees. Attracting and maintaining top candidates has been a priority for organizational stability and growth, And the police officer is one of those pivotal roles that must be filled by the best candidate to maintain a strong and effective police department. Chief Lanier joined Westminster 2 years ago and brings 35 years of policing experience. Chief Lanier brings new ideas and improvements to operations and has done a tremendous job to increase morale and retention. The financial impact to the current salary schedule would be an increase of $50,900. This total reflects an increased salary request for Chief in the amount of $22,745 yearly, and for City Manager of $23,882 yearly. Per the City Manager's contract, the salary for the City Manager needs to be 5% higher than the next highest paid position. What we're asking for is a budget increase of $25,440 for the remainder of fiscal year 23-24. I'm available if you have any questions.
Thank you so much. Is there any question from the council?
I have a couple of questions.
Please. Councilmember Menzo, you recognize.
Thank you, Mayor. The CM position is typical as standard in other agencies to be a higher salary than the next highest, correct?
Yes, most cities have a compression rate that's typically 5% below the next, their next highest paid employee.
Okay. No, thank you. That's all I got for you. Thank you.
Is there any other question for staff? If not, I move to approve.
A second.
Motion on the floor.
Okay. So I have a motion made by Mayor Nguyen, a second made by Councilmember Monzo. And this is to adopt resolution number 5238, entitled A Resolution of the Mayor and City Council of the City of Westminster, California, amending resolution number 5236, amending exhibits A, B, and C salary schedules for executive employees, and increase the top step of the police chief monthly salary to $22,745, and approve a budget adjustment in the amount of $25,440 for the remainder of the fiscal year. I'll go to call roll. Councilwoman Van West?
Yes.
Councilmember Monzo?
Before I vote, does the chief's salary, does that come contingent with the 10-year commitment?
20?
Yeah.
20.
I just want to make sure that that's the case. No, sorry about that. I don't mean to be funny, but yeah, the chief, I mean, there's no secret that he's been vital to our community, and his what he's brought to this city has been more than tenfold paid. I mean, what you bring to our community is more than warranted. It's even less than how valuable you are to our community. So thank you very much. And my vote is yes.
Thank you. Councilmember Nguyen?
Okay. I don't have a question, but I have some comments about the chief. I'm more than happy to say yes on this. Ever since I know Chief Darren and work with him, I'm telling myself that, okay, we have to keep him with any price. So with the increasing of about $23,000, I think that's less than what I expected.
Wow.
So
he's going to
say
give you
yes.
more.
Vice Mayor Ho?
What can I say? During my tenure of almost 8 years, I've gone through, I think this is our third chief, and I can tell you that I say how much money has our Chief Lanier, saved our city. I know that it was no fun to, all the lawsuits that we had in the past. I won't dive into those, but if we look at the relativity of the money that you're not that you deserve, I'd have to say this is a well-deserved raise, and thank you so much for staying on. Of course, it's not written anywhere how long you have to stay, but we're hoping for something like 20 years. Thank you. Thank you. I vote yes.
And Mayor Nguyen.
I don't have to say much. I just have to agree with Councilmember Nguyen. That tells you everything, right? So my vote is yes.
5-0, motion carried.
All right, thank you. At this time, we have a request to move the items. From what I see, that we will get this one through probably 9 o'clock.
Mr. Mayor.
But wait, let me finish and then I will come back to you, please. So I think that, it's better, to me, you have the right to request to move the item, and it's up to council to agree with it or not. But I think that we have enough time to go by orders, so that we don't have to move the item every time. So, Mr. West, Councilmember West.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. So the reason why I want to move item 5.5 and 5.4, because I know we'll be brief to get it through. Our supporters are sitting out there just waiting to want to get through with the flag resolution. So if we can put that through for a vote, that'll be great before.
So what's your motion?
I motion to pull 5.5 and then 5.4 to go through it and for a vote.
Which one is going first?
5.5 and then 5.4.
So 5.5 and 5.4 before 5.2 and 5.3.
That's correct, because...
Is there any second to that? We have no second, then the motion is failed. So let's continue with item 5.2. Strategic plan goal number 1, achieve financial stability. So I'd like to ask for staff report, please.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, members of the public. It's a very exciting item that I'm bringing to you tonight. We're very happy to be talking about 3 really overarching topics. The first one being, of course, economic development, which we know is very, very important to the mayor and city council. We've heard it loud and clear, and the topic surfaces on a regular basis in meetings with the council, as well as in our strategic plan sessions. So we have been working diligently to promote economic development through various initiatives. Infrastructure improvements is one way of doing it. Other options we're working on: business incentives, public-private partnerships, community engagement. All of these are very important to economic development. Something that we are proud that we are implementing is streamlining regulations, simplifying bureaucracy in government is something that's very important to the city manager. We're working with department heads to make sure that we move that forward. And then the last one really, and there could be a long list, it depends on the priorities of each city, but zoning policies is something that's very important and vital to economic development as it pertains to development. So tonight, really the topic is going to focus a lot on economic development with the focus of land use. If I can provide a little bit of background on that and just refresh everybody's memory, the general plan update of 2016 identified mixed-use districts in the city. There's a lot of misconceptions as to when that was implemented by the city, which council did it. It was in 2016 as part of the general plan update. So although we've been talking a lot over the last couple of years about mixed-use districts, it's just because this administration is serious about implementing the policies that were set forth several years ago. So we are behind as a city, but the current management team is working hard. That's why you've heard a lot about mixed-use districts over the last year. So that is something I wanted to point out, and it's a misconception. Our housing element that's adopted by the state of California also identifies mixed-use districts. In fact, the housing element would have not been adopted by the state had we not completed the work we did at the mall for the Westminster Mall specific plan, and also defined better the mixed-use districts and really showed that we're serious about moving forward with those initiatives. So that's a little bit of background. And of course, the strategic plan is important because it keeps us all on track. We all agree to the goals that are listed in the in the strategic plan. Economic development currently is listed and identified in 2 of those goals, as was read by the mayor in the opening subject title. So the first one of those, just to be specific, we're going to talk about how economic development plays into each of those goals. So strategic plan goal 1 clearly states that we should begin an economic development strategy and report back to the city council. And that's what we were doing tonight with this item that I'll talk a little bit more about. The next strategic plan goal number 2, it clearly states as one of the objectives to, and I quote, deliver a scope of work for the recommended downtown mixed-use specific plan that includes an economic impact assessment for that particular mixed-use district. So rather than start an economic development plan that focuses just on that one top priority district, this effort that we're proposing would be to bring on EPS, to bring them on as a consultant to conduct an economic development assessment of all of the districts in the city and really look at what opportunities exist on a site-by-site, data-driven analysis. It also includes a great deal of outreach with regional and local builders. One of the comments that we've heard over the last couple of years as we've engaged potential partners in development is that our 2016 standards for mixed-use districts are too conservative. So developers are choosing to go elsewhere where the density, the approved density for those locations is a little bit more in line with the market. So really, this is a market analysis. This is a property data analysis, and there will be no final decisions made as part of this study. The study will be brought back to the City Council and then presented to determine what the next appropriate steps. If we look ahead, what is likely going to come out of this study, but it will be data-driven, not just my opinion based on my understanding of the district. It's likely we're going to be looking at a density recommended increase, possibly. We'll see what the study brings back. But based on what we see happening in jurisdictions around us, you can tell that they are building up density along major corridors at a higher density rate than we have currently here in the city of Westminster. So the study, the $89,000 study, will be funded by a LEAP grant that came from California Housing. It was a $300,000 grant. A lot of that money went into completing the environmental analysis that was required for the Westminster Mall specific plan. The remainder of the funding needs to be used, or we will have to return it back to the state. So we would probably be funding this because it's a good thing to do. This gives us an opportunity to utilize state funds to fund this necessary study. And with that, I open it up for questions.
Yes, I remember that the City Council and staff have a long day of getting together and talk about the strategic plan. And I appreciate that staff follow up with this so that we can move along. And at the same time, I believe that we also stop trying to organize for another strategic meeting coming up, right? So I just want to thank the Assistant City Manager Adolfo Azeda and also the City Manager Kristen Corden, and also staff have been working hard on this. So I hope that we can move along and help the city to move forward. At this time, I would like to open it up for the council member to have any other question for the staff.
I have a question, Mayor.
Yes, please. You are now recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. First, you mentioned developers and density. To this point, has there been any interest or applicants coming to the city looking to do something and saw what our density numbers are and decided to go elsewhere?
That is a common theme as we've engaged in conversations over the last couple of years. As you know, city manager is very active in making sure that everybody knows who we are as a city. We've gone to conventions that focus specifically on development. And in identifying the mixed-use districts, there's excitement. In looking at what we're allowed to build within those districts, that's where we lose some of the developers. And it's hard to get them back and to engage in conversations because in a lot of other cities, these density issues have been addressed. they're coming right in to propose a project rather than to propose a density increase as a developer, which is not attractive to them.
So they've never came and proposed a project?
The numbers are not penciling out, is what we hear back from them, so that's as far as the conversations have gone.
Because can we do, if there wasn't a project, you know, an interest and they want to do something, the density, can it be amended per project through the Planning Commission?
It definitely can. And one of the things that we've learned over the years is that there's a lot of, these mixed-use districts are attractive to developers, and a lot of cities that have already defined the rules of engagement within those districts, that's where developers want to go. It's a much simpler approach to get to moving dirt, rather than them having to come in, stand before the council and the public, and recommend these increases.
No, I get that, but I mean, that's something that we don't want to lose. If there is an interest, I mean, you've got to kind of be a salesman out there and say, well, we can.
So just, if I can just add to that, because I have a lot of these conversations. The reality is we do have developers and we do have, different groups that come to us looking for, places that they can build certain types of projects that they have in mind, in which they do tell us what they're looking for, exactly. And so there's the interest there. But these developers are also very well in tuned to knowing the complexities of getting in front of an elected body to get some of these things approved that are not already built in. So, the interest is there. But if there's a choice, because other cities around us are being much more aggressive, that's the concern that they have.
No, I know, I understand that. I just want to make sure if there is interest that we don't lose them if you try to. Because obviously we're desperate for redevelopment in our community.
No, we check in with each other regularly, and step one of this study will be to bring them in, developers of all different, pretty much developers that know the market, to really understand what they would like to see, and then have an independent market analysis also to compare and contrast those desires.
Okay. And then do you have a time frame for the completion of this through this, for this process?
I can't give you that off the top of my head right now. There's several components to it, but I promise it definitely less than a year for sure. They're ready to get going on it.
I hope it is less than a year. So, thank you.
Yeah.
Realistically, I was just wondering, like for myself, I do build as well, and I was just wondering, do you find it to be a problem? I know we're a pretty built-out city, and in areas that we're not built out, it's like people they don't want to sell. They just want to hold on to their properties, even though their properties are like, 50, 100 years old, and so our city doesn't looks very blighted, and of course it attracts the homeless. So do you find that to be a problem? Because for a small piece of land, it really doesn't pencil out to build. I mean, you build up, and it's good to have mixed use, but you also it doesn't pencil out. So that's why, in my situation, that's the case. It really doesn't pencil out unless we build and acquire, and it's hard to acquire, in order to make more units and make things work out, pencil out, like I said. Do you find that to be a problem?
It is, and one of the strategies that is going to be utilized as part of this effort is that they're going to do a property-by-property assessment. If the density is increased, it might pencil out where people are interested in selling their property to a developer that can consolidate adjacent lots. You're right, with the current density numbers, doesn't pencil out. So if the density numbers, if the study supports higher density numbers and the council ultimately supports that, and that gets adopted into the general plan, then the developers will be able to knock on the doors of business owners that have just held on to property for a long time and maybe negotiate, work with them in a way to maybe relocate their business, but ultimately consolidate lots to create a more significant project.
Are you guys in any position to help out the developers to maybe introduce or be the go-between, reach out to those property owners that may not even live in the area. They may not even know the need. They may not even know the zonal change.
Absolutely.
So I was just wondering.
So we actually do that now. There has been interest. So as part of our outreach with different developers, we have we've looked at developers who specialize in acquisitions, in which they look at different properties, and it may be buying multiple properties to create something. Look at sites that are that need renovation or are underutilized, and potentially buy those properties out to develop something. We have been reaching out to folks. We have been connecting. There are some developers that have come to express their concerns and inability to reach out to individual property owners in areas in which we've provided that information to them as well, to essentially broker their own deal, right? And so we are making sure that people are connected as they are reaching out to us with development interests. We also recently put out a request for qualifications on economic development services, in which the last several years we've struggled to hire an economic development manager and just get that arm of the city going. And so alternatively, because we know economic development is very important, we have consultants that are vetted that can provide economic development functions for us. And so one of the things that we are doing is reaching out to those consultants to then reach out to property owners just to ask them, your property hasn't been developed in 10, 20 years. Are there any plans for it? And just making that connection so that we can start building that, building that base and building, again, that network, so that when someone's interested, we can get, if someone's interested in developing or someone interested in selling, we can start making, making those connections.
Great.
Yes.
It's good to know. Thank you.
If I can add one more thing to that, specific to your question, as we developed, as we worked with EPS to develop the scope, we actually talked to other agencies in Southern California that utilize their services to see if it actually resulted in a successful outcome. And we did. They've done similar studies in Orange County and the South Bay and in LA County, and they actually have success stories that are directly tied to this type of economic assessment. So.
I see.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is there any other questions for staff? If not, I move to approve this item.
Second.
I have a motion made by Mayor Nguyen, a second made by Councilmember Monzo. This is to approve the agreement with Economic Planning Systems, EPS, to conduct an economic development analysis to support redevelopment in Westminster's mixed-use districts in an amount not to exceed $89,500, and approve a budget increase to economic development contractual services in the amount of $89,500. I'll go ahead and call roll. Councilman Van West?
Yes.
Councilmember Monzo?
Yes.
Councilmember Nguyen?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hill?
Yes.
And Mayor Nguyen.
Yes.
Motion carried 5-0.
Next is item 5.3, consider sponsorship for Midway City Sanitary District, MCSD open house, just so that we can avoid the conflict of conflicts. I'd like to hand over my gavel to Vice Mayor Ho to conduct this item.
Thank you.
Wait for me to get leave first.
You recuse yourself? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and let me clarify for the public that there was one statement that was incorrect made during public comment. With respect to the Midway Sanitary District, there's under Government Code Section 1099 that says that you cannot hold two incompatible offices at the same time, but there's the exception in there unless it's allowed under state law. So there is an actual state law that allows council members to sit on the board of Midway Sanitary District at the same time, and that's why it's been commonly occurred. So that allows you to hold both those offices at the same time. That doesn't necessarily affect the conflict of interest rules, and for that reason, the mayor has decided to recuse himself from the decision. But you can hold both offices at the same time.
So are you saying that he doesn't have to recuse himself, or it's good for him to recuse himself?
Yeah, he's chosen to recuse himself, and that's the best decision here.
Okay. All right, so Let's proceed with item 5.3. Go ahead and read it.
Okay, so this is to consider the sponsorship for Midway City Sanitary District, MCSD Open House.
Okay.
Would you
Does
like
anyone
to?
have anything to say?
I have a question.
Yes, District 1.
Okay, so I guess my question is going to be to Charlie because he's on the board, so he would know. Maybe you guys can. The question is because I know our city is going to go bankrupt in 3 years. We all know that we're in a deficit. Now, I know Midway City Sanitation has their own section, their own code. We pretty much do everything. We kind of help them. So with that, do you know if their fund balance is? I mean, that's the only question Charlie would be able to answer. Unless we have someone who can represent Midway here.
So we're obviously, for transparency purposes, I guess I'll look at their website right now. They do have a positive fund balance, if that's the question. It's a very positive fund balance.
Okay, so they're not functioning on reserves, right? So they have their fund.
They are not.
Okay,
I just don't know what
know.
I just don't know what that amount is at the moment, but I can pull that up.
Okay.
I think I would propose that we look at our own budget, our own pocket, to determine whether we're going to sponsor or not. I mean, to look at somebody else's pocket, and it's good to know that they're,
It's good to know so we can
abundant of
assess
money.
when we make this decision tonight. I think for me, I just feel like we're, in a deficit right now as a council, and they're funded, and I think I just feel like it's not the right time. There's different organizations that we choose to help fund or donate. Like, for example, the Westminster Community Foundation, we were able to give that $20,000 to them, but they returned back 40, double. So what I'm saying is with this, I know that I just feel like it's not necessary from our budget to sponsor this right now. I just feel like because we're in a deficit. But that's just my opinion. But it depends on how you guys vote, tonight. But that's just my opinion. We just have to be careful with our general fund because we don't have a lot.
Thank you. Okay, District 2.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I just have a couple questions, or just maybe. I know that we've had some collaboration in the past with Midway. I think they contributed to any of our events in the past? I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but just can you answer that?
Yes, good evening. I can answer that. They do sponsor some of our events. They are a TET Parade sponsor at the gold level with a $5,000 check plus approximately $5,000 in in-kind services that they will be providing the day of the event. They did this last year at the TET Parade. They were also a sponsor of the Fall Festival and have done some in-kind services at many other of our events in collaboration with them.
Yes, because I do see some, oh, sorry.
If I may add, I think for the summer, you have like these events in the sunken garden.
Yes, they do
that's a big
support
one, right?
those trash services there.
Yeah, that was my next question, is I know that I see their trash services are multiple of our events. So, I mean, I understand that, on the optics of it, it looks like, obviously we have financial issues, but at the same time, they contribute to our events and our community events. It's warranted, it's justified, I should say, to, return that back. And they're not going to be done. They're going to continue to sponsor our events in the future. So I think it's just something you have to look at. It's a give and take. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Vice Mayor Ho. You know what? This is kind of funny to me. Because Midway City District is much, much more rich than us. But in the meantime, I think this is a test for us, because I think it's our courtesy to sponsor them, at least $1,000, because just look at the way every single
event that we have, we get money from them. And it's much more than what we go into, to sponsor them back. So, okay, with that, I motion to approve $1,000.
I second it.
So before we move on to voting, I would say, well, after listening to, I believe that I do think that we need to kind of return the favors, but they also know that we're quote unquote poor and we got to watch our budget. But, in light of the fact that I know they've sponsored at least, I would say, $20,000 worth every year. I know TED Festival, that's in money and not just in kind, correct? So that's $5,000 right there. And I thought they sponsor, was it also in kind or just trash services for the summer festival, the summer events?
They did support the Fall Festival with a sponsorship, and they do support our summer events, summer concerts, our movie series, Safety Day, with help with trash services and the trash boxes and the manpower that goes with that.
Is there anything that we could do in kind from our city? Because I would prefer that, of course. But of course, I agree. I'm in agreement that we should at least give $1,000. That's just being a good neighbor, just to show that, hey, we're, you're going to somebody else's, like somebody else came to your wedding, so you're going to go and return the favor and attend their wedding and give what you can afford. So, but I think, is there something in kind that we could give?
We could probably support their event with hosting a booth, so we could be present at their events. As far as other in-kind services.
But if we're going to be at their event and have a booth, we'd have to pay, right?
For this one, yes, it looks like that is the price that we pay to be a sponsor, yes.
Yeah, I guess at the minimum, $1,000.
Yeah, well, I want to make a substitute motion. I mean, we all just sat here and listened to how much they do for our city. And yes, I understand the conversation about where they are financially and where we are financially, but we're getting back from them so much more. I mean, $1,000 to me, I think it's kind of disrespectful amount. To me, it's got to be, minimal is $2,500. I make a substitute motion for $2,500.
Oh, you are rich.
No, I'm not rich. It's just the common courtesy. I think
would you say 20,000? I know I threw it out there, but I'm talking about like in all and everything that they've done for us, like on a yearly basis.
So
I can easily count up $20,000 that they've supported our events.
When they say 20,000 and we're going to say we're going to do 1,000, to me is come on. And we want to keep this collaboration. If they want to, they can say, you know what, we're not going to sponsor you anymore, and then we're going to have to pay for those services. It's going to cost us a lot more at the end. So
maybe,
come on.
Maybe what we should do. Wait. May I speak?
So I had a.
May I speak, Mr. Vice Mayor?
I think. Okay. You want to finish what you want to say?
Yeah, and that's my substitute motion is for $2,500 sponsorship.
Okay. All right. So before we, do I have a second?
Is there a second? Yeah.
Is there a second?
I second that.
You do? Okay.
I'm supposed to say that, but okay.
You know what I was saying, to be honest? I mean, our residents should be the best judge of that fee, because we should ask them, I mean, how's the trash service? Do you guys get all your trash service taken care of? They have big dumps for you guys to come and dump your stuff. If that's all yes, then I can see 25. But if they're having performing and doing their service, I mean, we should address it and have them up their service to make sure that our residents are satisfied and taken care of.
I think that's a different topic.
Yeah, I think so. So, I mean, I'm trying to think of, like, if we be out of pocket $1,000 and $1,500 in kind, what would that be? What would you give in kind? Because then it would be a package of $2,500, but just $1,000 out in real, in
We have
cash.
a motion and a second.
Yeah, so it's really difficult because, you know, the types of services that we provide, there's not really much that we can provide that has a monetary value attached to it, right?
Darn.
So, you know, we when they are present at our community events, we don't charge them for booths anyway, because they're our community partners that, you know, their presence is important to us. So when they're out there at, you know, the Fall Festival or at Safety Day or any of those events, we're already not charging them for a booth. So that would have been really the only thing that we could think of. You know, they're a sponsor, so they get a parade entry already. They've got all the benefits of being a sponsor. But it's very difficult to determine what we can provide as a sponsorship, because really,
So you can add the cost of the booth.
Well, the cost of the booth is it's not much.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do roll call.
Okay, so I have a substitute motion which was made by Councilmember Monzo, seconded by Councilmember Nguyen. This is to approve a sponsorship in the amount of $2,500 to the Midway City Sanitary District Open House event. I'll go ahead and call roll. Councilwoman Van West.
You know what? I think since they scratch our back, we should scratch their back. So yes, I say yes for $2,500.
Okay, Councilmember Monzo.
Yes.
Councilmember Nguyen.
Yes.
And Vice Mayor Ho.
Yes.
Motion carried 4-0-1-0.
Great. Thank you. You can bring Mayor back now.
Khai Đao is not here. Come back.
I had to get my number, but it is.
Oh yeah.
Mine? Yeah, mine's. Oh.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Now the decision has been made. Can I ask for an update? City Clerk.
Yes, Mayor. So the motion that we just did was a substitute motion, which was made by Councilmember Monzo, seconded by Councilmember Nguyen, to approve a sponsorship in the amount of $2,500 to the Midway City Sanitary District Open House.
Thank you for the update. The next item is 5.4, request to hang flags of the United States of America along Westminster Boulevard between Bosa Chica Road and Busha Street and around the Civic Center annually at various times throughout the year. This item brought up by Council Member West and seconded by Council Member Menzo. Let's start with Council Member West. You are now recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This agenda is very important to our community, especially with the district I represent, the 1st District. They praise themselves in the pride of this American flag, red, white, and blue. And it is so important for us to celebrate those important dates of, like, for example, Flag Day to 4th of July to Memorial Day to our Veterans Day. Those are a crucial date that all Americans celebrate. And so with that, hanging the flag, imagine people drive through from Bosa Chica, which is Seal Beach, our neighbors, from Seal Beach coming through Westminster, Bosa Chica, seeing all the way to the other side. I mean, that is just phenomenal. So I think it's important for us to respect our resident who we serve and respect this flag of the red, white, and blue that signify our freedom. And on those dates is very important because those men and women who sacrificed their lives for us, and they deserve that flag to be flown in the city of Westminster, outside on the street where they can see and be proud. Thank you so much.
Before I call on Councilmember Menzo, who is seconded to that item, I forgot the things, Vice Mayor Ho, to conduct 5.3. Thank you. So, Councilmember Menzo?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Councilmember West. Yeah, the reason I seconded was, I mean, because for those reasons is justified. I think that we've fallen short in our city for so long of celebrating, you know, our American holidays here in the city of Westminster. I mean, years and years ago, we had a fireworks show at the Westminster High School, but that's a private event. But as far as our city is concerned, we've done little to nothing to celebrate our American holidays and our American, and we need to do a better job of being the all-American city, being more patriotic. So considering we have a very diverse community, we do a good job of celebrating Vietnamese American holidays, but we've not so much the other ethnicities. So I'm supportive of this, so that's the reason why.
Councilmember Ho. I mean, Vice Mayor Ho. Sorry.
Well, ditto. I really am. I believe it's long overdue, and I'm glad you're doing this. So I am in support. Thank you.
Thank you.
As for me, I believe that I want to thank Councilmember West as well as Councilmember Mezzo to bring this item up, and we're proud to fly the American flags. The only reason, the only hesitation that I have is we've flown this flag for so long in the period that we want to fly this flag. I'm afraid that it takes away the special of that flags when we're flying it for any other reason. But you know, if that's the case, if the city council you know, decide to approve it, I have no problem with that too. So, Councilmember Nguyen.
You know what? I have no problem with it.
Okay.
Can I make a motion to approve?
Go ahead.
Yes. You want a motion to approve? I'll be your second, or you want me to motion
You
it?
should-
I motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Okay.
Thank you.
To be fair, to be honest, I think that Councilmember Nguyen trying to motion for that. Am I right? Or I don't want to take away your.
You know what? Yeah, that's originally, but I save it that honor for.
Okay. All right. So we have motion and second on the floor. Motion by Councilmember West and seconded by who? By Councilmember Mezzo.
Okay, so the motion made by Councilwoman Fan West and the second made by Councilmember Monzo is to approve to hang flags of the United States of America on light poles along Westminster Boulevard between Bolsa Chica Road and Berkshire Street and along All-American Way and 13th Street from All-American Way to Beach Boulevard annually, beginning on the Friday before Memorial Day and through the 4th of July, and from November 1st through the 14th, and provide, directions on the placement of flags. All right. I'll go ahead and call roll. Councilwoman Fan West?
Yes.
Councilmember Monzo?
Yes.
Councilmember Nguyen?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Ho?
Yes.
And Mayor Nguyen?
Yes.
Motion carried 5-0.
5.5, resolution setting an annual day of reaffirmation to recognize the flag of the Republic of Vietnam. This item brought up by Councilmember West and seconded by Vice Mayor Ho. Councilmember West, you are now recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is an item that is 5.5, is to be brought back by the request of the council for me to choose a date. Everything that you guys don't want was strike out in the last meeting. We did approve the two resolution that's already there from Andy Kwak and Tri Ta, and it's all in here. And then everything is strike out. So the only date that we're doing it is on the Lunar New Year. Every Lunar New Year, the city of Westminster will fly that Vietnamese flag to represent the Vietnamese community and the freedom that we so hold dear to. And so it will bring a lot of traffic in, and I think that's a good time for business as well. And it's a time for celebration for the Vietnamese community that we serve as well. And I think the community applaud that and want that because majority of the people we serve here are Vietnamese American refugees that come here. And I I think with that celebration, go into the Tet celebration, that flag will fly up. It will bring in a lot of traffic, but also businesses to our city, which we are in desperate need. And city manager and the council here can attest for that. So with that, Mr. Mayor, I yield back to my second.
Okay. Since you are second item, I would like I would like to call on to you for comments before I make my comments. Vice Mayor, okay.
Yes, okay. So at the last meeting, I suggested to leave off the dates, and I'm very glad that we're not choosing February 7th, as it was a controversial date. And so I believe that there's some justification to your recommendation to fly the flag 3 days before Tet. And Tet, of course, the date moves. Sometimes it's at the end of January, sometimes beginning of February. So, and one thing I think is great about that is because, you know, we as a city of Westminster, we're on a world map. People, you know, who come here, if they go back to Vietnam, they go back to Vietnam. But if they don't, then they look at this city as a second home. So they fly here because they love the food, they love, you know, the Tet Parade and whatnot. And so it does bring tourists to our city. And I think that's really a good reason. And for that reason alone, we're choosing, the date 3 days before. And I'm going to hear from my colleagues in terms of, I know that there's, in all, there are going to be 10 days. Mm-hmm. So, you know, for me, I'm fine with that. So that's the reason I second this agenda.
Thank you, Ms. Vice Mayor.
Okay. I just want to make sure that the community understand that we are all for the South Vietnamese flag, which is the golden, and also with the twist red strike. There's no objection from any one of us here. We embrace that flag. The only thing that I felt that, the Tet Vietnamese New Year, usually the first, the second, and the third, all 3 days, and we recognize this at, in Vietnam as well as here. The most important days to the Tet event is the 3 days, first, second, and third. I don't know why we chose the 3 days ahead and then 7 days after flying the flag at the City Hall. I think that, it's just a little bit more than what I expected. I just want to bring up to the attention of our council. I think 3 days before and 3 days after, I think it's sufficient to fly the flag because we are recognizing the Lunar New Year event. So, I asked if the council member West or Vice Mayor Ho could specify 3 days before Tet and 3 days after Tet. I think is probably better because in front of the city, I think that we are obligated to all the citizens of the city of Westminster. So, I am all for it if you are flying it in the city, in the area of Bo Sa and in the Vietnamese community who support and who also put a lot of effort and economic contribution to our city. But for the at the City Hall, I was thinking that it's sufficient for the 3 days before Tet and 3 days after Tet. So
can I make a comment?
Yes, please.
Thank you, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, I think your proposal is reasonable. Yeah, I honestly asked Councilwoman from West and Vice Mayor Ho to consider Mr. Mayor's idea. Are you back?
Thank
You know,
Is there-
I think, may I
Yes,
add?
please.
I think what it is with the reason why we choose 10 days was because 3 days before, so those who come in early, you know, to travel into the city of Westminster to celebrate TED, at least they can see that coming in. And then as well as coming out, they can still see that. But then the thing is that we are rushing everything. We're rushing staff to get the flag down. We're rushing the people. What if they're staying longer just to visit family? Because when people come in town, they stay at least 7 to 10 days because they're traveling afar from Australia, from, you know, Vietnam, from other area like Houston, Texas as well, but they want to spend time with family. So the last stop they would stop is to look at that flag before they go. And I think it's important for us not to rush things. And I think you know, since you say 6 days, 3 days later is still okay for the people. This is a community. So that way they can enjoy this flag when they come in. But not only that, the staff, you know, instead of rushing them through that, you know, that we can give them 3 days and the people to enjoy this flag before they go home. And that's my reasoning.
Okay. I think that this, you know, in front of the city hall, I think we have to respect to all communities or all ethnics. And I think that I hope that, you know, you consider the 3 days, you know, before and 3 days after. For those people, you know, to make argument against you, that for those people who want to come in here, I'm sure that they come in for the 3 days of TED. They are not coming after the 3 days or in exactly the day that the TED is. So, you know, if you propose to fly on both sides, I don't have any problem with that. But for the city, I think that we need to be respectful to others' communities. So that's you know, I strongly think that it's better to change it to 3 days before and 3 days after.
Mr. Mayor, may I say something?
Yes, please.
I think also earlier in the section of flying the American flag, you have an objection of flying it too long as well. I just feel like with those two major flags that represent freedom, I mean, why are you not so proud to fly it, which is in the city, for 3 more days for the Vietnamese community to enjoy and just to celebrate instead of rushing everything? And then the American flag, you're limiting everything from our veteran who fought for this flag and bled for it. And I just feel like you're just rushing everything just to cut it off for the celebration. And I just don't think the community would like that. They want to enjoy seeing this flag.
Councilmember West, I appreciate for your opinions, but please allow me to speak up you know, to express my opinion also. The previous one, I said it's too long. Maybe it's too long. You know, it might be not special anymore when we fly the American flag. But I said I'll go along with the council member if if you guys agree to that, I have no problem. Same thing for this one. I just expressed my opinion, and you have the right to vote the way that you want. And so, you know, take it or leave it. It's up to you. I have the right to express my opinion. So, if there's, how about Councilmember Ho? Do you have anything to?
I'd like to hear from Councilmember Manzo, because I know we've all talked about shortening and all that, but I just want to hear from you what you think.
Well, yes, that's fine. I mean, for me, after listening to the different conversations coming here, for one, I want to get move this thing forward, because we've spoken about this for way too many meetings already, and I think a lot of the community, both Vietnamese and non-Vietnamese American residents, they just want to move on. And listening to the comments from the mayor, I do agree with them on this one here. Let's just do it. And we have one speaker who also made those comments earlier about that. So in this instance, I want to get this done for the community, but let's just do the 3 day, the mayor's recommendation. So
I believe that I would recommend that you change it to 6 days.
Well, why don't we do 7 days like how we always do it? 1 day more, which is to give, like how we did for the April 30th, we did 1 week, right? And then with the other dates, we did 1 week. I think it's reasonable, since he requests 6, but it's just 7, make it a week to make it even. So that's my motion to change it to 10. Instead of 10, we do 7. 7, perfect number.
Okay, I second.
Okay, thank you.
I think that's a good compromise.
Yes.
Let's do 7 and be done.
Well, I
Okay.
think it's better for the staff to remember 3 days after, 3 days before and 3 days after. So I'd like to do the substitute motion for 3 days before and 3 days after. I would like to give it to you for you.
Dạ vâng, mình mới đưa bác Cường về nhà, mình mới quay trở lại phải chạc cái phone. Mình quên mấy cái phone kia ở nhà, thành ra chỉ có mang theo cái phone cùi bắp để làm livestream. Thành ra hy vọng là nó sẽ không có hết pin dưới chừng. Thì bây giờ là Amy vẫn còn tiếp tục tranh luận với Charlie để mà muốn treo cờ đúng cái dịp Tết và treo 10 ngày. Thì bà Kim Ly Hồ bà có đề nghị là 7 ngày, rồi bây giờ Charlie nói là chỉ có cho 3 ngày thôi.
So I will have to make the substitute motion for this as 3 days before and 3 days after. Is there a second to that?
Was that
A substitute motion? Oh, before, oh, we have a second for the motion, original motion already, so I now have to make that substitute motion.
No, I made a substitute motion after yours for 7 days instead of just, and she was my second.
Yes, you make a motion for 7 days. She seconded, and now I make a substitute motion. No. You don't have to vote until the substitute motion is done, and the substitute motion will go for.
But you already have your substitute motion earlier with them planned, then I substitute motion over It is 7 days.
Là cái này nó thuộc về technicality, tức là về cái vấn đề quy tắc thôi, tức là Charlie muốn đưa ra một cái đề nghị mới.
Amended your motion to say instead of 10, you wanted to reduce it.
No, that's actually.
If I could provide clarification. There was comments made between all council members regarding the item, but no specific motion was made until Councilwoman Van West and Vice Mayor Ho made a motion to approve it for 7 days total. Then we have a substitute motion made by Mayor. We do not have a second at this time, and that is to have it for a 6-day total.
May I ask, didn't Vice Mayor agree with
I believe it's very clear right now what we need to ask. I need to ask for the second. Second. Okay, we have the substitute motion for
Tức là Charlie cứ muốn đòi đưa ra một cái đề nghị mới và có người bảo trợ thì sẽ biểu quyết. Họ sẽ biểu quyết cái đề nghị của Charlie, tức là treo cờ 3 ngày trước Tết và 3 ngày sau Tết.
I'll go ahead and call roll. Councilman Van West.
You know what, this is the community, and I'd rather have it than not, so I would say yes.
Councilman Ramonzo.
Yes.
Vậy là coi như Amy chấp nhận phải đồng ý bỏ phiếu thuận với cái đề nghị của Charlie. Có nghĩa là cái đề nghị này sẽ là dưới tên của Charlie chứ không phải tên của Amy.
I know that Vice Mayor Ho needs to leave early so she can pick up her son at the airport. I'm sorry to disclose it. So this time here for the
cái cách nói chuyện của Charlie với nghị viên Kimberly Hồ thì có vẻ bắt đầu cozy, có vẻ thân thiện với nhau. Rồi bây giờ bắt đầu cái phần phát biểu của cư dân, không cần nói theo nghị trình, thành ra mình sẽ là mình phát biểu.
Unless otherwise extended by a majority vote of the City Council, comments shall be limited to 3 minutes per speaker. Any person wishing to address the City Council in person should complete a yellow speaker slip that is provided at the entrance to the council chambers and submit the card to the city clerk. When your name is called, please step to the podium at that time and state your name and city of residence for the record. Our first speaker is Terry Raines.
Hello, do you all remember your oath of office? You know, to support and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the state. How about your naturalization oath of allegiance to the United States? You know, I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, state, or sovereignty, of whom or which I have heretofore been a subject or citizen. 3 of you are doing a piss poor job at honoring these oaths. Please refer to all the handouts that I provided tonight. I can't address all of the violations of law and policy that took place at the last council meeting in just 3 minutes. Mayor Nguyen, City Attorney Bettenhausen, and Police Chief Lanier. How the hell could you sit there and allow Councilmember Nguyen to direct ACM Ozeta to play a 5-minute evidentiary video during oral comments, or during council comments? Seriously, if you don't get a handle on the law, these council members and these meetings now, you and the city will be sued in a big way. Nam Quan, you must follow proper protocol to file a complaint with the police department, just like anyone else. No special treatment. You can't use public resources to present your private legal case. Nor should the city attorney have reviewed your personal lawsuit that you were served with here in chambers. You are not judge, jury, and executioner. Ever hear of due process established by the 14th Amendment? The video was not city business. It was you abusing your power as an elected official in an attempt to intimidate our police department into giving you special treatment, just like your pal Amy does. If you file a complaint, it may be thrown out of court now, and the city will get in trouble for allowing you to hold a one-sided trial from the dais. Hey, I have videos of you inciting and engaging in violence at protest, Nam Quan. Let's play those. It takes a thug to know a thug, and you're the biggest thug of them all. Hey, Mayor Nguyen, you violated law and policy with your 2 off-topic rants against me at the last meeting. You're no better than Spam West, who you allowed to do the same thing constantly. Did you see my name on the ballot? No. I merely qualified as a write-in candidate at the last minute because voters were writing my name in and asked me to. If I ever seriously ran against you, Charlie, trust me, you would know it. Your straw man arguments make you look bad, not me. The WCF fundraiser was a huge success. Congratulations to all of them. But Charlie, you refused to apologize about your angry tirade against WCF board members, appointing your brother-in-law as board president without disclosing your relationship, flip-flopping on event and parade sponsors speaking on stage, and ordering board members to not speak to the MCs, entertainers, and restaurant staff. The board never formally voted to appoint you as the event coordinator. Face it, Charlie, you can't stand fact-based criticism. So if you can't stand the heat, step the hell down because you don't have what it takes to be mayor. And I'm just going to sit here for 10 seconds, 9, 8. I hope you listened tonight. I didn't say any curse words, Charlie. Just a couple of minor ones. Hope you're happy.
Thank you. You know, I would love to see that woman put this much effort into doing something for District 1 or even the city as a whole instead of spending this much time on a flag that doesn't go to any country. Speaking of flags, thank you, Mayor, for, yeah, I had to turn it the right way, by the way. You had it backwards. Thank you, Mayor, for setting up the flags on each end of the dais like they're supposed to be. Also, that American flag that's out on the big flagpole, you're not supposed to fly the flag at night without an illumination on the flag. I don't care about the city or state flags, but the other one's our country flag, isn't it? Also, Terry said most of what I was going to say to you, Nam Quan, and also you. That tape had no business in city council chambers. It had nothing to do with the city. It was character assassination. I don't even know that guy. But don't be surprised if he smartens up, sues you personally, and sues the city as a whole. That was uncalled for, and it was so grossly unprofessional that that was disgusting. Yeah, 10 days. Thank you, Mayor, for cutting that down. Apparently, it took her a while to figure out that 3 days before and 3 days after actually is 7 days. I don't know, we were sitting up there looking, going, oh, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and the day of the festival. That didn't obviously sink in. So, maybe we could get Public Works, get some lighting on the American flag out there so as people drive down Westminster Boulevard. And when you talk about people coming here for this festival, if they're so worried about seeing the former South Vietnamese flag, all they got to do is drive down Bolsa, anywhere around Little Saigon. Those flags are all over the places. They're at the businesses, they're on the streets. Got no problem with that. That's their business area. More power to them. So when people come into this city, all they got to do is go down to that area. They'll enjoy the food, they'll enjoy the entertainment, they'll enjoy seeing the flag of the former South Vietnam. Anyway, you guys better hope he doesn't sue you, because it's going to be embarrassing and it's going to be all over the media, and the people are going to look at this city and go, what the hell is wrong with them? Thank you.
Mayor, can you make sure the staff looks into that? We shouldn't be, you guys should have a light on it. So hopefully we get that addressed soon.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council Member, we do have the light to those flagpoles, but I'm going to double check, make sure that they're functioning. But we do have the light.
All right. Yeah, make sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's out, Jay.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for bringing it up. We'll check. Stop and check. The next speaker, please.
Our next speaker is Khai Đao.
Good evening again. Well, talk about not honoring the yellow flag that we just left. I have nothing against it. Well, I hope you come back. But just want everyone to know, Nam Quang here is infamous now with the whole Vietnamese community all around the world. In Vietnam, Australia, Europe, Japan, wherever you talk to them, people will know and angry that Nam Quang is the one who insulted the whole community, the South Vietnamese army, the former South Vietnamese army, and insulted, degraded the yellow flag. And that's the truth. The reason is that that's the truth because he denied that he's the one that uploaded the clip that denounced, that insulted the whole community, that get everyone on their nerves. That's why you guys saw the protest. And Chief and the police department, the officers, I know you guys probably feel bad that we keep attacking Nam Quang. And I know you guys probably think highly of him. I don't doubt it. It doesn't surprise me. Because he's a liar. He's a pathological liar. It took me 2 years, to prove to our community that he's a liar. And now, if you ask the Vietnamese people in this town 2 years ago, most of them would support him. But if you ask them now, I doubt it if he got any support at all. Even some of his strong supporters just denounced him just a while ago. So, off topic, Charlie. Van Tran is going to be humiliated after this election. And this is open topic, right?
I understand it's open topic, but you can talk to somebody who is not here. So please limit.
This concerns you. I hope
elections
that don't pertain to the city are not.
Right, sir, but I'm just saying that I hope they will learn the lesson after Van Tran gets eliminated. Because that's going to show you this is the end of lying, the end of scheming, colluding, corruption, and cronyism. It's the end of you guys, the end of gang, the mafia gang of Vietnamese politicians in Westminster and in Orange County. So I hope you would ask him to resign to save yourself, Charlie. That's my sincere suggestion for you if you learn anything at all. Ask him to resign and behave yourself too.
Our next speaker is Kwang Nguyen. We don't see mentioners, so we're going to go to Hao Trung Nguyen. We don't see any chambers, so we're going to go to Devorah Mariscal.
Start the timer. Could all of you please back off your mics? Mayor, especially you, when you get this close, it's very difficult to hear you. So, wife of a musician, so please. So one of my favorite episodes of South Park is one that they did, the Worldwide Privacy Tour. And if you haven't seen it, it's really funny. You should do that. I wasn't going to say this, but I'm going to say it now. City of Westminster Council meetings could provide some great content for South Park. Oh my God, it would just be absolutely hysterical. So moving on to more serious matters. Devorah Mariscal, Westminster. This really saddens me to say this, but it seems like our city has a potentially terminal illness. Symptoms: loss of businesses, the mall, some of the businesses over on Golden West and Westminster. We've got a lot of empty lots, boarded up buildings, etc. I do appreciate that there's finally going to be some trying to look into how we can get businesses in. I know that our city manager's been working on that, but it does take time. We've got a really poor reputation of the city as a whole. And it's not just in the Caucasian community, it's in the Vietnamese community as well that is outside of Westminster. I do have quite a few Vietnamese friends who do not live here. And one big symptom, which is really sad to me, is the apathy of residents. Lots of talk on social media about what happens in our meetings and what you're doing as the council, but people don't come because they feel like whatever they have to say, you're not going to pay any attention, you're not going to do anything about it, so they don't come. The perception of the council is that some of you are only concerned with the things that impact you in a positive manner. That's not great. And we waste a lot of time, as other people have said, on flags, on proclamations, on things that don't do anything to keep the lights on in Westminster. We need to really put a stop to that, especially for one that is not even in the city of Westminster, that was in Riverside. What does that have to do anyway? We need to keep the city running, the lights on, and not declare bankruptcy. I hate to even have to say this, but please be respectful when somebody gets up here to speak. We bring our time and our effort to come and speak and bring our concerns. It's very rude for you to leave the dais. I understand that you need to use the restroom, but it's perceived as very rude when you do that and when you're not listening to those that bring their concerns forth. We're already starting to a very slow and painful death, and it's not just with you guys, it's been going on for a while. But I don't want to see this city look like it's been manslaughtered or murdered because we haven't done enough.
Our final speaker is Tammy Hamill.
Tammy Hamill, Westminster resident, District 1. I'm going to repeat a lot of stuff that people already said, but I think it's still worth saying. And if it really was up to the community, Amy, a couple of you would be gone. So if we could take a vote tonight, if you really want to leave things up to the community, We can do that. We can take care of some things and get you guys out of here to actually get someone in here that's gonna do something useful. So Charlie, your prayer, and most of your prayers when you say them for invocation are to make good decisions for the city. It would actually be helpful if you had useful things on the agenda to make good decisions on. You got proclamations, you got resolutions, now finding out you got things that you're doing, you know, outside Westminster, bringing other people in from outside the city. The place from Riverside, and that's another thing about being respectful and decorum. She makes faces, you make faces. I have a right to say what I want to say. I know, and you're making your faces. There's a place from Riverside, the place that you gave a proclamation to. This one playing private videos, I guess hoping to get the police to do something for you because of your seat on the council. You chastised 2 residents in previous meetings about how you're their mayor. You're the mayor. You're not my mayor. You don't represent what I want based on how you vote and what you have on the agenda. So you're the mayor, but you're not everyone's mayor, so let's be clear about that. And stop chastising other people and then mocking a resident because she lost the election to you. How respectful is that for you as mayor to sit up here and do that? For someone to want to be involved and then you mock them because they lost to you. You shouldn't be doing that. So with all your, you know, the grandstanding about the respect, decorum, you're so worried about swear words. What about this one calling residents losers and racist after he got sworn in? This one laughed at and agreed with a resident calling residents that don't agree with her commie pedos. Communist pedophiles. Do you agree that residents who don't agree with you are communist pedophiles, Amy? Because that's what someone said that online when we were commenting on one of your fetish gun videos. Oh, the haters are out, the commie ped. You're like, yep, great. Is that what you really think about residents? Because that's what you're portraying up here. You got your gun fetish, your flag fetish, your Bible fetish. You're doing nothing for the city. This is grandstanding. That's all you're doing. You've got your own agenda, and you really don't care about District 1, as far as I can see. You still haven't set up another meeting with me. Mayor, that's just it.
Let me go and take the first side of this, and then I will open it for council comments. First of all, due respect. The Westminster Community Foundation, they appreciate what we do. Okay, I have worked day and night, not only me but my wife. We never claim of any credit for this. I just want to make sure that
hầu hết những người Mỹ trắng bản xứ họ lên phát biểu cũng gần như Khải thôi. Họ đã chê trách cái đảng hội đồng thành phố nghị viên này, kể cả Charlie là thị trưởng, là làm những chuyện rùi bu, không có thực tiễn, không có quan tâm đến ích lợi thành phố, không có trách nhiệm ở thành phố mà chỉ suốt ngày lo những cái chuyện rùi bu để mỹ dân, để kiếm phiếu thôi. Rồi bạn cũng nói là trong lúc mà người dân phát biểu thì tụi nó bỏ đi ra ngoài, tụi nó nhăn mặt nhăn mày, tụi nó thể hiện một cái thái độ rất là mọi rợ, là coi như là thiếu lễ độ, bất lịch sự, mà thật sự là luật bắt tụi nó phải nghe một cách nghiêm túc, mà tụi nó vậy là vi phạm cái quy định.
What happened in the city of Westminster, we are not recognizing that. I don't think that's something that we actually did our vetting to make sure that it is indeed an organization that deserves to be recognized in our community. So with that, I just
mấy người Mỹ người ta cũng nói là tụi bay còn bày đặt đi khen thưởng mấy người ở thành phố khác, ở Riverside rồi này kia. không có liên quan gì đến thành phố ấy. Mà bằng chứng là tụi nó phải mời những người ở xa về tham dự diễn hành Tết, chứ còn diễn hành Tết ở thành phố này tẩy chay tụi nó rồi.
Okay, it seems like no response to public comments. So next is we'd like to go into comment from the City Council agency members. This including AB 1, 2, 3, 4 report when required. I know that Vice Mayor Ho need to leave early, so in time for her to pick up person at the airport. So allow me to have her to go first. Vice Mayor Ho.
Nghị viên Kim Hồ nói là phải đi đón con ở phi trường, thì nó xin phải về sớm. Nó phát biểu trước.
Thank you, staff, for everything you've done. We had a really wonderful event, the Tech Parade, and today we were presented with the seed money, the return of our seed money, $25,000 plus $15,000, and that is an effort from everyone, and I know everybody, including the mayor, worked really hard, on making the event, the gala, a success, and it was a success, and I have to admit that. I know staff hover around all the way till the end, and I was there as well, and I know that the community contributed a lot of effort, a lot of their time, just to even come and be present and be supportive of the gala. I really enjoyed myself, but one sad thing is that I know I have a couple of members, or I know I appointed two, and one person resigned that Monday. So I think that while it's important for us to thank those who, are still here, they're still part of the WCF, is it Westminster Community WCF, Foundation. I think it's important that we talk to those who resigned.
Là nghị viên Kim Hồ nói có một vài thành viên mà bà bổ nhiệm vào cái tổ chức diễn hành Tết đó, thì đã từ chức, tức là đã bỏ, không có làm nữa. Thì như vậy là các bạn thấy là cái diễn hành Tết này là chính trong tổ chức họ cũng bỏ cuộc, họ cũng chán nản rồi, chứ chẳng có là.
I would appreciate you come forward and just let me know if you want to participate, and it's never too late.
Còn có 2 tuần nữa là diễn hành Tết, mà bây giờ còn đi kêu gọi người tham gia vào cái tổ chức gọi là cái nhóm mà tổ chức diễn hành Tết.
So again, I think we have, the next meeting is going to be the 14th, correct? February 14th.
Nếu vậy lần họp tới có thể rớt vào ngày Valentine, ngày lễ hội tình yêu, là khoảng mùng 4 Tết, mùng 5 Tết, mùng 5 Tết.
From the west side tend to feel intimidated because they don't know how to get around, and I think if we can reach out to our neighbors, our friends, and try to help them navigate or bringing along with you. So I know that I'm gonna be helping selling tickets for the grandstand. I think that's really good. And I'm so glad to hear that the price is so reasonable at $25 per person. I think that's very good. I like to see this year that the grandstand be filled with, especially the elderly who can't really, walk in among the crowd and fight the crowd to get to watch. So, and what else can I say? Okay, so if I may agendize something, is that okay if I speak to you here now? And I think what it is that I know that, we have 17 parks, And we have a lot of baseball players. We also have soccer players. I know we don't have any soccer fields, and I think that if possible, I'd like staff to see if we can look into at least dedicating some fields, one or just a couple of soccer fields, because I know that the adults want to get out there and play soccer. And I know soccer is very popular. It's becoming a very popular sport, even for Americans. Vietnamese people, as well as Hispanic people, love soccer. And I don't know if there's. I mean, I'm not into the sport, but I do watch once in a while, popular games, and so it's very exciting to watch. And so I think that it's probably something that we want to look into. I know that we have a lot of baseball diamonds, and so it might be a good time to kind of do some inventory and see what we can do to give the soccer sports a chance. So thank you, and I hope to see you all at the Tech Festival, Tech Parade. Thank you.
Thanks, Vice Mayor Hall. And she mentioned one thing that I think that we should look into that too. February 14th is going to be our next meeting, so it's a Valentine's Day. Either we have a short agenda or maybe we can move it.
So that particular item is a little bit complicated. We have youth soccer, and they're occupying our fields. The baseball diamonds are being occupied by leagues as well, but we also have a parks master plan that dictates a lot of this discussion, and so really it should go to the Parks and Recreation Commission first for that evaluation, as opposed to council. So I mean, we can start the process and have a conversation about it, but it's a little premature to bring something back to council at this point.
You don't have to bring it back on the 14th or at the next meeting. You can just, make sure that you prioritize it and, take whatever amount of time you need. And if you need to bring it to the Park and Rec, please go ahead, be my guest, but then, give us an update. That's all I want.
Yeah, sorry, I guess that we have enough. But we didn't really do that. We have picked up a violation. So I think very well said. Thank you very much.
Thấy Charlie bây giờ xử với nghị viên Kim La Hồ, phó thị trưởng cũng rất là dễ thương, rất là thân thiện. Và có vẻ như là đối đầu với Amy Fan West.
Thank you for all your hard work from all the department heads, from the fire department to city manager to public work, Jake, Vanessa with community. I mean, every one of you have put in all you got, and I cannot wait to see the end of 2024, what we have accomplished. So I just want to say thank you so much. And then congratulations, Chief, for the raise. You deserve it completely, because you know how hard you work, and we all know that. And not only the council, the staff here, but the public recognize that as well. And thank you for always protecting our city, and always, making sure all your men are taken care of and doing what you need to get done. And hiring, is a hard situation that we are facing across the United States, but you're making it happen. And so thank you for that, because we do need good men and women to defend our city. So with that, thank you. Rightly so, starting this year, I mean, I know that we will have a challenge ahead of us with Sacramento pushing so many bills down. They already put 4 through public safety bills already in January. And since I am appointed by the President of California Cities to be on this board for public safety, to speak out, to defend our safety here in the city of Westminster, but up and down the state of California, our safety is very important because it ties with our
Đây là cái phần mà kết thúc thì những thành viên hội đồng phố có quyền nói lời cuối để kết thúc phiên họp. Thì nghị viên phó thị trưởng Kimberly Hồ đã phải về sớm để đi đón con. Amy thì chỉ là nói để nói chung là cũng cảm ơn người này, cảm ơn người kia, và nói là Cali chuẩn bị sẽ thông qua một số luật, là bà cũng muốn vận động nói về một số cái dự luật, nhưng mà thật sự cái đó thì nó không có liên quan đến cái vai trò của nghị viên.
Not reasonable because we have the supermajority of the other party, Democrat, running our cities, so we cannot do that. So we have to have a win-win situation. With California League of City, we are trying to bridge that gap so that way we can have some leeway to make sure criminals get the consequences that they need. And likewise, any businesses, any mothers in the city of Westminster or up and down the state of California would appreciate that our law enforcement can enforce law regarding criminals who are committing crimes that are hurting our families, our businesses, and our way of life. So with that, we have
Bà
more
đang
of
vận
those that
động
we
cái
will be
luật nó
opposing.
sẽ nghiêm,
with that in
tức là
mind,
nghiêm
I
khắc
just
hơn
wanna remind
để
everyone
đối phó
start
với
this
những
year
thành phần tội
correctly.
phạm. Nói chung là
I
giả
value
định những
our
cái
immigration
luật mà
independence as well as our
không có trừng trị những người ăn cắp mà dưới 1.000 đô la đó, thì gọi là cái đó là chỉ là cái ăn cắp vặt. Cảnh sát họ sẽ không có họ sẽ không có điều tra, họ sẽ không có làm việc, lập hồ sơ.
1776. I want you guys to remember this. This is what we hold to. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments, including us, or the state level, or the federal, are instituted among men, derive their just powers from the consent, we the people, the governed. And don't ever let the government tell you guys or mandate or force things on your businesses, your family, and your way of life. This is the power of we the people. So I want to remind you, it says that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it. And that is your right as we the people of the United States and the people of California. So with that, I want to wish all of you guys a happy new year coming up. 2024 will be a good year, a year of fighting for what's right, what's true, and defending our freedom at all costs. And that's what we will continue to do in the city of Westminster here and the United States of America. God bless you all. Happy New Year.
Thank you, Councilmember West. Next is Councilmember Menzo for District 2.
Thank you, Mayor. Let's keep it short. Thank you, everybody, for staying to the end. Sometimes it's not easy paying attention and staying here, but thank you. Thank you for all your comments. I hear you, so thank you for that.
Ông Carlos Manzo thì cảm ơn những người đã lên phát biểu. Và cảm ơn những nhân viên. Ông kêu gọi mọi người tham gia diễn hành Tết. Và ông cũng quảng cáo nói là năm nay có nhiều người tham dự hơn, tức là ông cũng quảng cáo cho cái diễn hành Tết. Thì nói chung là Khải thì không có chống đối về cái chuyện này. Cũng ông Carlos này thì ảnh là người gốc Latino Nam Mỹ, nhưng mà nói chung cũng khá khách quan, trung thực, cũng rất là trung dung, professional.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First, I want to congratulate our chief for for staying with us and for 10 years, right? In the next 10 years. And secondly, I would like to express my appreciation to the mayor. I just said I don't speak for other people, but I know that in the background, without you, we're not going to have a successful fundraising with their
Tức là Nam Quang đang bưng vô tung hô Charlie. Cảm ơn Charlie. Nam Quang nói là không nhờ Charlie thì không thể nào gây quỹ được. Đã kêu gọi được 10 cái bàn gây quỹ cho tổ chức diễu hành Tết. Nam Quang nói là rất là trân trọng Charlie, mặc dù có rất nhiều lời ông tiếng về Charlie. Nam Quang cũng cảm ơn nhân viên đã làm việc sốt sắng cực lực để mà tổ chức diễu hành Tết. Và Nam Quang nói là diễu hành Tết kỳ này sẽ là rất là thành công tốt đẹp.
Yeah, I want to thank for your comments, and on behalf of the WCF, I know that they appreciate that you also sponsor the VIP table. I know that.
Và Charlie cũng nói là cũng thay mặt cái nhóm tổ chức Westminster Foundation để mà là cảm ơn Nam Quang đã bảo trợ một bàn.
That's my goal. Whatever I can do, I will work for the sake of the city, for the betterment of the city. That's what my goal.
Charlie hứa hẹn nói là tôi làm cái gì cũng sẽ làm vì thành phố, và dùng cái từ mà Khải lặp lại từ các anh Michael và Ranger là for the betterment of the city, để mà cải thiện thành phố.
I can tell you much about the work the effort that the staff put into it, because it's already there. You always see that. I have already seen that. They have worked really hard to get all the events.
Và Charlie nói là nhân viên thành phố làm việc rất là cực lực, không thể mà nói hết được những cái sự cố gắng khó khăn mà nhân viên đã phải thời gian công sức họ bỏ ra để tổ chức diễu hành Tết để làm việc cho thành phố. Và chuyện đó đương nhiên thôi, tại vì nhân viên của thành phố là chuyên nghiệp mà họ lãnh lương mấy trăm ngàn, mấy chục ngàn một năm, tức là lương tiêu chuẩn Mỹ 80-90 ngàn đô một năm, 100 mấy chục ngàn đô. Cô tổng quản trị là lãnh lương 300 mấy chục ngàn đô, kể cả cộng thêm bảo hiểm, rồi tiền xe, tiền xử.
And all the directors or the department heads, along with the people in your groups. Without the people in your group, with your staff, I don't think that any one of us can do anything successfully. So my hat go out to you. Thank you for all the hard work. For those people, for public, I welcome you to come here for the public comments. You have the right to express your opinions. I listen, and I'm sure that the same thing for our council here. I'm looking forward. This is what I'm going to tell you. I am looking forward to work with you. I truly believe if we can work together, we can move this city forward. We'll make this the betterment for the city of Westminster. There is no doubt about it. It's just that we need to work together. Like I said, I am open. My office is all wide open to discuss with you. If you have any question, call our secretary to schedule so that we can discuss. That way we have more time to discuss about the items. I don't have any problem with that, and I appreciate your time. You are here until this moment. I know that with that, I know that you're concerned, you care for the community, so I appreciate it very much. With that, I would like to adjourn this meeting, and our next regular meeting will be held on Wednesday, February 14, 2024 at 6 p.m. Meeting adjourned.
Chia sẻ cái opinion, ý kiến, thì cái đó là Khải muốn mọi người hiểu cái đó là cái nguyên do sâu xa mà tại sao xảy ra cớ sự. là cho đến giờ phút này cái băng đảng của Charlie cũng rất là cái băng đảng của Charlie cũng rất là dốt, nhưng mà vẫn tiếp tục nói rằng là cư dân phát biểu ý kiến. Cái đó không phải là ý kiến, kính thưa quý vị. Khải đã nói rồi, ở Westminster, tức là cái cơ chế thị xã, thì cái người ra ứng cử chức nghị viên hội đồng thành phố, kể cả cái vai trò thị trưởng, là public servant, là công bộc của cư dân. Và quý vị được bỏ phiếu để mà ủy nhiệm cho quý vị thay mặt cư dân để mà họp, chứ không phải quý vị đánh chiếm được thiên hạ để làm bố đời, làm mẹ thiên hạ, để mà có quyền cai trị, có quyền điều hành thành phố. Không phải như vậy. Nếu mà họp hội đồng thành phố đa số thông qua thì có quyền thay cái người tổng quản trị, và cái người tổng quản trị có quyền mướn cảnh sát trưởng. Cái cơ chế nó là như vậy. Tổng quản trị lương 300-400 ngàn đô la một năm, trong khi quý vị lãnh lương có 800-900 đô la một tháng thôi. Thành ra quý vị chỉ là làm vì. Và cái mà Charlie gọi là opinion đó là anh rất là ngu. Anh phải hiểu cái đó là cái direction. Người dân đến trình bày ra lệnh cho mày, bảo mày, người dân muốn mày làm cái gì. Mày chễm chệ, mày là ông thị trưởng, rồi mày bỏ thời giờ ra để mày nghe người dân đến mà bày tỏ ý kiến. Không có cái nguyện vọng ý kiến ở đây. Dạ vâng, thân ái chào các bạn. Khải đang ở trong Modern Salon của người quen. Ghé lại hôm nay mới có dịp để ghé lên. Đây là ở thành phố Orange, ở trên ngay Freeway 55 hay Freeway 55 với đường Lincoln. Quý vị đi ở dưới Little Sài Gòn, đi 22 East. 22 East là đi về hướng đông, gặp 55 North đi về hướng bắc, 55 North đi về hướng bắc. Thì exit đường Lincoln thì quẹo trái xong thì vừa qua đường Tustin thì nó sẽ nằm bên tay trái, là địa chỉ là 1446 Modern Salon, ngay trong khu chợ Vons. Có BFA, Bank of America, đằng sau Denny's và Del Taco. Thì Khải giới thiệu cho bạn bè, các bạn nào ở thành phố gọi là Tustin, Orange, kể cả nếu mà Irvine thì thay vì đi xuống Little Sài Gòn thì đi Freeway 55, thì đi học ở UCI rồi thì có thể ghé lại đây là tiệm Modern Salon, thì để coi kỷ niệm 25 năm thì có những cái đặc biệt là có massage da đầu, có không có phải là kiểu mà thanh nữ ở Việt Nam, nhưng mà là có xoa bóp đầu, rất là relax, rất là thoải mái. Nếu mà mình đi học, đi làm mệt mỏi thì xoa bóp đầu, tức là khi mà gội đầu thì sẽ có thời gian để mà xoa bóp, nắng bóp, massage đầu mình, da đầu, thì nó sẽ rất là thoải mái. Coi như là nếu mà mình đi làm mệt mỏi, đi học hành cũng căng thẳng, thì những cái gọi là nắng bóp da đầu như vậy thì nó rất là làm cho người mình nó thoải mái. Thì đây là cái dịch vụ cũng mặc dù ở Việt Nam thì rất nhiều người làm rồi, nhưng mà Việt Nam thì có thêm vấn đề thanh nữ, vấn đề happy ending. Ở đây nó không phải như vậy, nhưng mà chủ yếu là chỉ là
massage đầu thôi. Thành ra quý vị nào muốn thử cái dịch vụ mà coi như là xoa bóp đầu đó, khi mà thay vì gội đầu thì sẽ nhân viên thợ uốn tóc họ sẽ massage mình luôn trong cái thời gian mà gội đầu. Thì cái phần đó là phần massage đầu, thì đó là một cái dịch vụ cũng mới bắt đầu. Thì đây là kỷ niệm 25 năm thì đang còn có những cái dịch vụ mới là họ đang có sẽ có cái dịch vụ này. Rồi Khải cũng đi vòng vòng rồi, chút nữa Khải coi, tại vì tiệm cũng đang có khách bận. Khải coi rồi Khải sẽ coi như là để coi. Khải đi vô tí xíu để xem, coi quý vị xem tiệm. Đây là có dịch vụ hớt tóc. Đây là cũng có để thờ thần tài, cũng có cắm nhang đàng hoàng và cũng đang có khách. Và đây là những cái ghế để uống. Và đây là có cái phòng để mà coi như là tổng quốc massage, và coi như là tổng quốc để gội đầu và massage luôn. Nếu mà quý vị nào mà muốn cần cái dịch vụ tổng quốc thì bữa nào Khải sẽ ghé lại để Khải gội đầu dưỡng sinh hả? Nếu về chị có thể giới thiệu tên đi.
Em có nhiều packet để gội đầu dưỡng sinh.
Dạ.
Có 4 cái packet. Dùng đá, rồi scalp massage, rồi arm, chân.
Rồi đây là mình có massage toàn thân luôn không, hay là chỉ có gội đầu với massage đầu?
Massage từ facial từ tay, làm tóc luôn. Tóc. Nói chung là mọi thứ về da.
Về da nữa.
Dạ. Làm facial, rồi scalp massage, rồi tay, rồi chân, mấy cái face gel mask, rồi anh thấu này nè, juice stone, rồi colon, cái đầy đủ.
Cái này là về làm về massage đầu,
gội đầu dưỡng sinh đó.
Gội đầu dưỡng sinh, tức là không có phải là cái vấn đề mà thanh nữ rồi này kia mà bậy bạ, mà là để relax đúng không? Để dưỡng sinh là cho người mình nó tinh thần nó thoải mái.
Gội đầu dưỡng sinh cũng relax đó, cho đầu óc đó, rồi làm tay, rồi làm chân, nếu nó chọn
rồi đang có cái package, đang có những cái giá gì đặc biệt không?
Nếu như mà người nào first tới á, mà lần đầu tiên tới tiệm em á, thì em bớt cho 20%.
Rồi.
20% trong cái package mà mình
rồi, tức là nếu mà lần đầu đến thì mình sẽ bớt 20%.
Bớt 20% cho trong những cái package nào mình muốn chọn.
Rồi cái này là nếu mà người ta không lại tiệm được thì mình có người đến, nhân viên đến nhà luôn không? Hay là
không, chỉ làm ngoài tiệm thôi.
Làm ngoài tiệm thôi. Dạ.
Chỉ là làm tiệm thôi, không có đến nhà.
Rồi cái này nếu mà có những cái dịch vụ mà mình mua hồi xưa, anh có những cái chỗ mà họ bán giống như cái
hả?
Cái nguyên cái thẻ làm nhiều lần là gì đó? Có luôn.
Nếu mua thì sẽ có.
Dạ. Rồi đây em thấy là mình làm móng tay móng chân, nhưng mà có sấy, uốn ép sấy rồi nhuộm hết không?
Có đầy đủ. Tóc rồi đầy đủ. Tóc rồi đầy đủ có luôn.
Cho đàn ông luôn, anh thấy khách đàn ông cũng nhiều.
Gọi đầu dưỡng sinh đàn ông đàn bà đều được hết. Tất cả đều được hết. Chứ không phải riêng cho đàn bà. Đàn ông đàn bà đều được hết đó.
Tiệm này mình làm ở đây bao lâu rồi ạ?
25 năm rồi.
25 năm ở đây rồi.
Cái này phần này mình mới áp thêm thôi.
Còn cái đây là dịch vụ mới.
Dịch vụ này mới có.
Mà cái này là mình cũng phải là có cái kỹ thuật đồ riêng biệt, có khóa huấn luyện đàng hoàng, chứ không phải là. Rồi, thank you chị Linh. Dạ vâng, đây là cũng co-owner chị Linh, Lina Nguyễn, và team thì đang còn
Cái này là cắt tóc cho nam. Dạ vâng, Khải không có tiền quay mặt của khách, thành ra mình chỉ quay sơ sơ vậy thôi. Còn tóc tai mình cũng đang rất là bù xù, bữa nào thì mình sẽ ghé lại để mình cắt.